Anji Kuzi, what's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Food for Thought. You're joined by myself, Mr. Munchbox, and my co-host
Hungry Hass.
Today we're joined by the lovely and internet sensation, Mr. T's King of Ice Cream and Desserts.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing, my brothers? You alright?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How about yourself?
Alhamdulillah.
So, a couple of weeks ago, I saw you in Manchester.
That's right.
And I was like, I need to get you on my podcast.
We're here, bro. We're here.
You
called. We had to take up on that offer instantly, bro. Can't say no to Mr. Munchbox.
So, normally what we do is we usually ask our guests to kick it back and, give us early memories in their life, their childhood, that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to ask you your age yet.
Yeah.
But when you were younger, growing up, where you grew up.
Yeah.
So what part of the country you grew up?
So I was born in Bolton, Lancashire.
Ooh, Amir Khan.
1978. Alhamdulillah, I gave presents to this world. And I was raised there till the age of 24. And mashallah, I went to school, led all my life, learned basics about life and whatnot in that town. And, mashallah, I had a fantastic upbringing, brilliant childhood. My parents were brilliant and we were very comfortable, mashallah. It was a very, very nice time. And then I moved from there when I was age 24.
And was that to where you live now? Or?
That's where I live now, yeah. I moved to Wrexham, North Wales at the time, and I've been there ever since, to this day.
And how's that transition been? Because
the transition was fairly abrupt, It was a bit of a shocker because not many people leave their hometown and leave all their loved ones and their mum and dad and everyone behind and make a change to a totally unknown foreign land far away. But I felt for me I needed to do that because I just wanted to get in touch with myself and I just wanted to have the best for my children and I just needed a complete fresh start. And so the move that I made, the transition, obviously it was a bit of a difficult one, but me and my wife, we were up to a challenge and alhamdulillah, it worked out well for us.
So now you're the king of ice cream. You've got vans and factories in your mashallah, and you're supplying various amounts of restaurants and takeaways across the country.
That's correct. Yeah.
Where did that love for ice cream start?
Do you know what, my brother? I don't know if you know or not. I've only been in this game for 7 years.
Wow.
This is a totally new game that I'd never done before. It was a brand new experience for me. And my original game is fast food. I was a takeaway man. That's pizzas, burgers, kebabs, which I was very, very successful in. But certain circumstances in my life forced about me having to change of career. And at the time, my financial capacity was to be self-employed and to still be my own boss. I chose an ice cream van because I thought it was a very affordable business for me to get into, where I was still the owner of the business, I had no one to answer to, and I was the boss. And that was 7 years ago in 2015. That's when I started.
Did you ever have the vision that you were going to be as big as you are today when you first started 7 years ago?
SubhanAllah, Allah works in mysterious ways. I always knew I was going to be pretty good at what I was doing because, mashallah, I've got a good customer service ethics. But nowhere in a million years did I ever envisage to be where I am today in this business. Alhamdulillah. Never even dreamt of it,
So what do you think is part reason for that success?
First of all, the most basic thing is being true to your deen, ma'puni dua, making sure you're there for other people, trying to help other people in that trade, as opposed to thinking, right, I've got somewhere now and I want to keep these ideas and this knowledge just for me and for my benefit. Knowledge, when you benefit yourself as well as others, that's when you gain more knowledge. Alhamdulillah, and that's when I find things start improving for you in your life. Mashallah, any of the brothers in this trade that have asked me for any guidance, any help, any kind of ethics, any ways of working, any tricks of the trade, I've given them to them gladly, because there's more than enough room for all of us to eat. And I think, mashallah, me being in that way has helped my business to blossom even more than what it would have if I didn't be that way.
So obviously, being Muslim, that's part of our faith where we believe, ultimately everything comes from Allah, whatever it is. And every guest that we've got on, they always revert back to that. No matter what you do, what you try, we will always do that because that is the truth. That's the reality.
Exactly. The bottom line, that is exactly.
One thing that I want to touch upon too is that that's the first main part of it. But like in terms of social media, were you into social media before this? Or?
I was into social media before this. I mean, when I had my takeaway, it was a very, very successful operation. I was really, really, alhamdulillah, with the blessings of Allah and the blessings of my parents, I was very busy in that. And it got to a stage where at one time it was all phone. Everything was just on the phone. It was walk-ins and that was it. But then come 2008, an app called Just Eat was launched. And Just Eat was launched, and the takeaways, the competition, shall we say, in my area, they started signing up to Just Eat. And I started finding that my taking started to slowly decrease a little bit because this Just Eat platform was making it easier for people to order online. And other takeaways that had signed up to them were taking business from me through them. And I thought, right, I need to combat this. So what I did initially was I signed up to Just Eat as well. I signed up to Just Eat, and they were on only 12% at the time, and I signed up to it, and I was with them for a period of about 2 months, and I made to them 4 payments. But then 4 payments, because when I signed up to Just Eat, immediately I became the top local takeaway on their list, and I started churning revenue through that in quite large amounts, because I was a very, very busy takeaway. Mashallah, we were doing like 250 deliveries in a night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had like 12, 13 delivery drivers. I had 13, 14 lads inside. It was like a little McDonald's. It was really, really busy, alhamdulillah. But then when I started paying Just Eat every time, these massive figures for their commission, I thought, right, this is no good. I thought, right, I need to combat this. And then I thought to myself, why do people use the Just Eat platform as opposed to ringing me? Well, then I figured that people like to take the time when they're ordering, and they like to sit down, they like to discuss, they like to make changes, this, that. So I came up with a recipe for myself where I would allow customers to order via Facebook. So they could place orders with me via social media. So basically, they could message me an order, say, right, this is my address, and I made like a platform. I made like templates for them to follow. You know, I used to advertise myself on Facebook quite predominantly, and I amassed quite a following because it was so new and so novel. Loads of people started ordering via Facebook. This cut Just Eat out, and I was getting my online orders in with no commission, which was very beneficial to me. But at the same time, I started growing a following, and I started learning the basics of how social media can benefit a business.
You know, like obviously you said Just Eat and stuff like that. Do you think if you didn't see a decrease in your sales because of your competitors or fellow businessmen, do you think you would have not joined Just
Well, to be honest, it was going that good. It was going that good. Obviously, the only reason I joined Just Eat and the only reason I implemented new ideas for Facebook strategies and things like that was because I started seeing a decrease in my work. That's the only reason. Obviously, when you're up at a level, the last thing a man wants to do is go down a notch. You know, you either want to stay at that level or you want to go more. So for me, seeing a decrease was a big thing, like, you know, and that's why I had to figure out a way to not let that happen.
You're obviously speaking to you and seeing you work, you're a prominent businessman.
Alhamdulillah.
Where did that come from? What happened was it your parents, or did you have somebody that you looked up to? Where did you gain those skills?
I've been a worker all my life, alhamdulillah. I've been working solid for a very, very long time. Very long time. I was the eldest son. I was the eldest boy from 5 sisters. You know, I seen November the 5th, 1992, my father, who was a taxi driver, he had a very sad misfortune accident in that trade where he got beaten up by a Gora, and he ended up hospitalised, losing one eye and many other ailments through this beating. And this caused me to mature at a very young age. I was only 12 at the time. By the time I was 13, I was doing all kinds of little odds and ends to try and make money because I was the bread provider then. And then by the time I was 14, 15, 16, I was working full-time for other people, doing various bits and pieces. And then as soon as I got my driving license, I was like, in them days it was very easy. I was a taxi driver, and I was doing, mashallah, as much as I could to put bread on the table. And for this reason, I've always had that work ethic. You know, I don't like to have time off. I don't like to sit down. I like to go to work. I like to make sure I'm busy, and I like to make sure that I'm doing things that my kids are going to pick up on, and then they can obviously follow suit to what I've done. And you know, my encounters in life in Bolton, shall we say, led me to have this personality where I can adjust to any situation instantly, and I can become the person I'm talking to on his level immediately. And these are one of the things that make a success. Like, you know, these things, they help you to keep on top of what you're doing.
That's the fireworks.
Oh, is it the fireworks outside? These microphones are so...
So, you know, like, obviously you're from Bolton. I'd say you're like an online celebrity influencer. There's another lad from Bolton, my coach Freddie Roach. You know what about, no?
No.
That's a very famous saying. I can't believe you don't know it. You know it?
No.
My coach Freddie Roach.
No.
No? Shamon!
No.
Right, okay, basically Amir Khan, the boxer.
Oh, yeah, well...
So for me personally, it's not just because I class you as a brother, but it's the truth, and I'm going to explain a couple of bits what you mentioned before. For me personally, in the ice cream game, I see you like the Floyd Mayweather. And it's not that you're untouchable, you're good at what you do, basically. And like with your product...
These are the blessings that we've been blessed with, you know.
So it's not just about the quality of your product, it's like you've built up a brand that I've seen myself with my own eyes. Even before I met you, I seen you online. Well before, you know, like, because I remember, like I've said to you previous times, I seen you on Facebook, then I seen you on TikTok, and like with now at the moment, TikTok is probably the fastest growing social media platform out there.
Definitely.
And like I was saying, you're the Floyd Mayweather when it comes to the ice cream world. I remember there were some lads in Bradford who, I wouldn't say, you know, they say if someone's copying you or imitating you, it's a form of flattery. So that concept of having that tray with the glab jamuns, ice cream, and, you know, dressing it well with the nuts and stuff, and the coconut shavings.
Oh, the trimming.
I seen some guys do that a while back, and that video, them guys were getting a lot of hate from the general public. You know how it is when you have people following you. Oh, you're copying this guy, you're copying this guy. Lots of people were tagging you in it, and you know, I rate this guy. He at some point did eventually end up replying back, and his comment along, it's not word for word, but along the lines was that there's enough bread to go around for everyone, and Allah put barakat into your business. And that shows you a person's character and mindset. And at that point, I was just newly getting to know you, and that, you know, for not just myself, but anyone who reads it, it shows you. And you've had other incidences where you've gone out and you've got your van parked up, and then you've got some idiots come up and make videos, whatever. But at the end of the day, it shows you if them people are going out of their way to come and make a video, even though if it's not with you, like you know, in your showers, and they come in and filming and trying to be funny, it shows that they know that it's not just about the views, that the clout's there, because they know if they're going to put a video about Mr. T, it's going to bang views. That's the truth. So growing up, you've been working hard. I've seen it myself, like genuinely, when we go out, sometimes we can spend 12 to 14 hours in a day filming, editing, going out. I don't know where you get the energy from, and I always say to you,
the same thing. So you're just a year older than my dad, so 45?
I'm 44, I'm going to be 45 in November.
Yeah, so my dad's 44 years old. He's not bouncing around like you, slinging out and talking to so many of these different faces every single day.
And making a video for each single one.
And consistently just giving each and every one of them customers love, and they're like starstruck, like, oh,
you know what, my brother?
wow.
You know what? My business revolves around my customer service for my customers. I've got a lot of respect for my customers, and my I don't like calling it success because but my growth is thanks to my customers, and my customers come to see me with that feel and that want of that entertainment that they get. They expect that. And brother, my duty is to make sure I live up to their expectations. Because the day that I consider their money more important than that person's happiness, that's the day I'm going to start to fall.
But you generally don't do that, because I've seen you parked up in traffic jams and somebody's recognised you from behind and you've got ice cream and you've just started giving it out.
You know what, brother? Allah gives more to those that give. You know, I find myself very, very blessed to be in this position, to be able to make a smile, make a difference, do something nice. Allah ni kudrat hai, Allah ni deen hai. And I'm very, very lucky that I'm in this position to be able to do that, because a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so lucky, and I count my blessings every single day, because this has only happened recently to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've only got to this stage over a period of a few years.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, again, it's just so nice to be able to make a difference, make someone happy, make that person smile. You know, it's just such a blessing, and I count myself very lucky.
So, you know, like you said, you had your takeaway restaurant and you did what you did, you had your ups and downs, and then you moved and you got into this game, is that right? Or was your restaurant in where you
My
were?
restaurant was in Wrexham.
Right.
So when I moved to Wrexham in 2004, I moved because I wanted a completely fresh start. Where we were living in Bolton was it was losing, you know, it was not a good society to be living in.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of going downhill. At the time, mashallah, it's improved a lot since then, and, you know, Bolton's a very lovely place. No diss in Bolton whatsoever, you know, not in the slightest. But in my experience, at the time, I felt like it wasn't where I wanted to be. I felt like everything that we do is being copied and imitated by everybody else. Everybody's doing the same trades. There's no room for scope. There's no scope for growth. And I had some big ambitions of mine. Even at that time, I knew what I was capable of. My customer service skills, my talking, my concepts, or just my thought pattern. Alhamdulillah, I've been blessed with thinking a little bit differently to a lot of people, you know what I mean? My way of looking at things is slightly different to the way other people look at things. So I knew that I wanted to, inshallah, achieve something. But also at the same time, I knew if I was going to try and achieve these things in Bolton, I was going to be getting held back.
Yeah.
So when I moved from Bolton to Wrexham, it was a mad choice. We only moved because I sold my house while I was living in Bolton for X amount, and I only had to put a bit more in. And at the time, I asked Jeeves, remember Jeeves?
Yeah.
I asked Jeeves, for this amount of money, what is the best house that I can buy, that I can own outright within a 100-mile radius of Bolton? And the house where I'm living in, where I moved to first in Wrexham, was the house. It was a 4-bedroom detached, big garden, 3 bathrooms, big dry pot, big front garden. And that house was the biggest house that I could buy for the money I had to not have a mortgage, to be able to move from Bolton and still be within reach of Bolton to come back. So that's what made me move. When I moved there, I didn't know nothing about the town. I didn't know where the schools was. I didn't know where the doctors was, where the library was, nothing. I was free for a period of about 6 months, thinking, contemplating ideas. What am I going to do now that I'm here? What am I going to do? And I found that there was a scope and room for a good takeaway.
Yeah.
That's what I thought at the time. No, I'd never done takeaway as well. Never ever had I worked in a takeaway, and I made a pizza, nothing. But alhamdulillah, when I looked around and I found that the competitors, shall we say, they were either old Buddha, you know, really old people, you know what I mean, with just pita bread and saraya doner and frozen doner and things like that, and frozen pizza bases, and the food was nasty, like the food scene was nasty. And I thought, there's a lot of room here and I can inshallah do something. And I'm a quick learner. I just need to watch somebody do something once and that's it. I can do that the second time. So that's what made me open my takeaway. Now I ran that till 2013. And the takeaway, I ran it till 2013. And it became one of the most successful operation takeaways in that town. It was busier than Pizza, it was busier than Domino's. Wow. It was absolutely smashing it. Alhamdulillah. But with that then comes a lot of workload.
Yeah.
And I had my younger brother, who was my partner.
Yeah.
Me and him used to split the shifts. He used to do a lot more than even I did. And unfortunately, he suffered a brain tumour. Alhamdulillah, he's fully recovered now. He's fully recovered, he's back on the vans and everything. But at the time, he suffered a brain tumour and he was out of commission. So that workload all landed on me. And it was too much, bro. It was too much. 18-hour days, 7 days a week, not seeing the kids, not seeing the family.
No social life.
No social life, nothing, bro. So anyway, I ended up selling that. I ended up giving it away, bro. I ended up giving it away, and that's what made me get into the ice cream business in 2015, alhamdulillah. And I don't even know where we started the question, and I don't know where it's answered.
It's fine.
No, the reason I'm asking you that is because I remember once this is obviously off the podcast when we met, you mentioned something about your father-in-law and the ice cream van.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I wanted to ask you to build it to that point where, like, when you finished your restaurant business and then you got into the ice cream trade.
So I got out of the restaurant trade, and to be fair, to be quite honest, I made a few losses. I suffered quite significant losses, because my head wasn't working right, and I made a few mistakes at the time. And when I got out of it, I was literally on zero funds. And my father-in-law bailed me out. Mashallah, he gave me the money to buy this first ice cream man. It was just one ice cream man. And now even he was struggling for cash at the time. And we bought a very, very basic, bottom of the run-of-the-mill ice cream van, 58 plate Ford Transit.
Wow.
And we didn't even have money to put lettering on the van. It was just a plain white van.
Wow.
No signage, nothing. And that van, alhamdulillah, when I got that van, I thought to myself, right, you've got another chance at doing something with your own life now. And that made me focus on what I was doing and change my mentality. I was more family orientated. My confusion that I was suffering with doing all these mad shifts, that kind of mellowed down a little bit. My missus gave me a lot of support. Obviously behind every man there's a hand of a good woman. She was with me through thick and thin, and she helped me to motivate myself. And then when I motivated myself, obviously after the motivation comes dedication. And then I dedicated myself to this ice cream business. And within 1 month of having this van, we changed from a normal Darya Marnella to actually being a van that takes orders via social media. And I used to drive the van to people's houses up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's where it all started. That's how it all started. That's how the social media notoriety. So then I've come on a thing now where this is totally new. There's no other ice cream man in the country taking a message on Facebook and then going to that person's house in the van and delivering them. And this became such a novelty in my town. Mashallah, it just blew up. And I became the B2 guy that's the best ice cream man that's doing this, taking orders via Facebook and going to the man's house at 2 in the morning and selling them ice cream. And it was mad. It went so busy, mashallah. It went so busy. It was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah. And then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And then I implemented these new ideas where the first turnabout came in the second year of me working as an ice cream man. So the first year I was just doing home deliveries. As soon as the second year came, come January, it was Easter time.
Right.
And in January they launch the Easter eggs, don't they? Because they want to sell as many as they can. So I was stood in a queue in a shop once, and I was just selling at the time normal ice creams, $99s, sherbet cones, Knickerbocker Glory, screwballs, things like that, going to people's houses, giving it to them. When I was stood in the shop queue, I looked to my left, and there's a big stack of Easter eggs. Yeah, there's a big stack of Easter eggs. I thought to myself, why don't I buy an Easter egg? Why don't I buy it, split it in half, put ice cream in it, throw the sprinkle like, and I put a few sprinkles on it. Take a picture of it, put it in my Facebook, see what happens. Now anyway, my maximum item at the time was £3 that I was selling. That Easter egg, I advertised it at £3.50. And the Easter egg, when I put that picture on my social media, because I was already so prevalent on social media, it went bang.
Yeah, right.
People are sharing it in my hometown. Everybody goes, I want to try it. So they went mad. They went mad for these Easter eggs full of ice cream with sauces and sprinkles. And I started suddenly seeing a massive increase in my turnover. You know what I mean? I've gone from £2 a head, now I'm £3.50 a head.
Yeah.
So like every person I'm going to, every order, instead of 5 people spending £2, there's 5 people spending £3.50, which is nearly double my takings. Yeah. And I started seeing some serious income in an ice cream man now, you know what I mean? Anyway, that same year, Easter comes, Easter goes, and I think to myself, right, I'm going to stop doing the Easter eggs. So I thought, right, what can I do now? And anyway, I went to every cash and carry in my area, all the shops, Asda, this, that, and I bought as many Easter eggs as I could to keep this thing going, because, like I said earlier, once you get to a peg, the last thing you want to do is come back a notch. If anything, you want to stay there or go forward. So I needed a product now what I could still sell for £3.50 and not come back to the £2 cones. So I'm selling these Easter eggs and they're nearly dwindling out. And I thought, what can I do? And then I had another brainwave. This is Alhamdulillah, it's mad. Like Allah, ishara karne, and then it's the person's job to act on that.
100%.
I had a brainwave where when I was a kid, when I was like 9, 10 years old, my next door neighbour in Bolton, he made his own camper van.
Right.
He designed his own camper van, you know, one of them smiley transits. He put his own mattress in it, he put his own little kitchen units in it, and I used to go around and watch him doing it because I had an interest in it.
Yeah.
And then one day he went to a shop called Maplin, and he bought this thing called an inverter, and he put it in his van. He just connected to his battery, and he had in his van a 240 volt plug socket.
Right.
And I remembered that, and I thought to myself, I go to these cash and carries all the time, and I see waffles, and I see fudge cakes. Why don't I go to Maplin, buy an inverter, connect it to my ice cream van, put a microwave in, and I can then have hot waffles and fudge cakes that I heat up, and I put ice cream with it, and I can sell it to people, and it keeps me at £3.50. And alhamdulillah, that's what I did. I had that thought in the night. The next day I went to Maplin as soon as I woke up, and as soon as I wired that inverter into the van, I thought, and I started it, and I plugged the microwave in, and when the microwave started, I go, buddy, ouch, get up, let's go. So we went to Costco, got the fudge cakes, got the waffles, come back, took them out, made it in the van, took a picture of it, put it on my Facebook, bam. So alhamdulillah, Allah gave me the way to keep my business at £3.50 a head. So that's what I started doing. And I started driving around for about 6 months. Everybody's going sick about these waffles in my town. I'm delivering it to the house, people on the munchies, this, that. Puri raat mein laga rehna, and 2, 3 in the morning I started coming home. People are having waffles and fudge cakes hot from an ice cream van with ice cream delivered to their house. It was like a mobile dessert parlour there.
Yeah. So at what point did you start travelling out? Because it was a big success in... at what point did you start going out?
So I was very, very loyal to my hometown.
Yeah.
People, with it being social media, obviously people in Facebook, in Wrexham, were sharing these posts, and they had cousins in Chester, they had cousins in Flintshire, Queensferry, this, that. And now I used to get messages from these people saying, come here, why don't you come here? We want to try this, that. We want to have a go as well. We want to have a try of this ice cream and these waffles and this and that. And I used to say to him, listen, no, I can't come. If you want to try it, you have to come to Wrexham. I'm only going to serve people in my town because I'm loyal to these people. Because they've been very, very good to me. They've helped me through thick and thin. They were good in my takeaway. They've been even better in my ice cream. I'm very sport get there, but I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. So that's what I used to do. Anyway, come one day, a guy messaged me, a blog, and he goes, my 2-year-old child is suffering from leukemia. And they're obsessed with ice cream vans, and all they do is look at the videos and the pictures that you post on Facebook. Day in, day out, they just keep looking at them pictures and videos. Some little child, Allah didn't see him, he's passed away now, English child it was. And will you come to our house? And I couldn't say no, because that's something that you just can't say. Anybody with a feeling and anybody with morals and conscience can't say no to that.
No, 100%.
You know. So I couldn't say no. So anyway, I agreed a time and a place at their house in the next city down, which was Chester. And Chester's a very big place. And I had a lot of interest in Chester anyway, from people saying, come here, we want to try this, waffles and ice cream. And we want to see you more than anything else. Because I've always been this bubbly character in the van. And I've always wore these funny shirts, and I've acted the part, like, you know what I mean?
The suit as well.
Yeah, I've done all of that. I've maintained that from day one, because I knew if you want to be better than the next man in the same jet, you have to act more professionally, you have to be better, Yeah? So anyway, I arranged to meet them at their house, and I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought, I'm going to go to their house in Chester, I'm going to park up, I'm going to see their child, I'm going to make a little video, I'm going to have a bit of fun, I'm going to do a little snap with them, because Snapchat was a big thing by then. And we're going to serve them some ice cream, and I'm going to come back and do my thing. I was not expecting what happened next. So I've gone to their house, and they've told the people on the estate, because it was a council estate, and you know they're all very close knit on council estates. They've told people that this guy's going to come here at this time. So I've just rode into their house, into their street. I've parked up. There's houses all around. I'm in a little cul-de-sac. Next thing you know, people start coming. You know, and Snapchat starts to spreading. I've landed there at 5 o'clock. Yeah, till 10 o'clock I'm still there. Dishing out ice cream, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm seeing it there, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, what's actually going on here? People peeping at me through the curtains, thinking, what the fuck's going on? Gridlock, bro. The estate was jam-packed. People coming from all over Chester to try this ice cream, and I'm parked up outside some guy's house.
Wow.
Yeah, and literally like, yeah, I'm just sat outside this house and I'm just serving ice cream, and obviously I'm making a lot of money now, you know what I mean? Everybody's paying £3.54 a head, you know, and they're buying 2, 3, and because no one's tried it, the families are coming and they're all having one, the kids are getting one and doing a little snap for them, and more kids are coming and more kids are coming, and it's just gone bang. And I finished anyway about 11 o'clock at night outside this guy's house that I finished serving ice cream. I've not moved nowhere all night long. Now, me being the qawm that I am, I'm a sheikh, I am.
Yeah.
When a sheikh experiences something that gives him a lot of money, he acts on it. He doesn't stop and think, right, it's a one-off. He acts on it and he always tries to replicate it, because that thing is like something, you know, I've made some serious dough here without driving anywhere, with saving all that fuel. I've literally just been parked up in one spot and I've been constantly serving my product, and I've tilled up, like, you know what I mean? I've gone home, I've said to the missus, but yeah, this is what's happened to me today, yeah? And it's now like, you know what I mean? So Chester's like a big place, you know, say for instance, there's BD1, BD2, BD3. There's areas in Chester called Lake, Blaken, Upton, Kingston, you know, like various areas. So I parked in the Lake that day. And the next day I thought to myself, right, I need to act on this, I need to make this better, I need to keep this momentum up, because once the fire's hot and you're struck like, you need to keep striking to make sure that momentum stays. So I thought to myself, right, the next day I've gone on my Facebook and I put an apology out. I said, first of all, guys, I'd like to sincerely apologise to the people that came to me yesterday in Chester that I didn't get to serve because either I ran out of ice cream or the queue was just too long for them, they couldn't wait for the kids out of school. And also I'd like to apologise to the neighbours that I caused such a big ruckus outside the house, and I'm very sorry. And thirdly, I'd like to apologise to the police for causing such a pandemonium in that area and this and that. And then fourth, straight after that, in the same post, it's still there somewhere, the same post, I said, but today what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to come to Blaken, I'm going to park it in this car park, and I'm going to come fully loaded, and if you want to come and see me, you can come there. I'm going to bring a helper with me. The helper was Mrs. T. She'd never worked a day in her life. Yeah? And I didn't have nobody else, so my missus and me only in it. So I got my kids were all young at the time. So I got my missus in the car. She's never done a day of work in her life, bro. And that was the first day that we officially planned to go out of town. So we went to that night in Blaken. Proper, it was crazy, G. Kids, and you know, it was just something so new and something fantastic. Now I'm giving these waffles and these cookie doughs, and I mean, I've progressed now, you know. In this time, I've started doing trays with sweets on. I've tried doing trays with chocolates on, and you know, no glab jam. That only happened now. Yeah. And I've started doing English desserts, what English people like to do. I've started doing cookie doughs, waffles, brownies, fudge cakes. Them are predominantly English people, what they like to eat. They don't even know what glab jam are. And it's gone bang, bro. We've tilled up some martial serious coin. I mean, we actually shocked at what we've just done. So we're not talked all the way home. We were too tired to even...
Process was happened. I was just flabbergasted, and I'm just thinking 1,000,001 things in my mind now, saying, Ya Allah, Alhamdulillah, Allah na shukr hai, what have you done for us there, Ya Allah? Yeah. Because we were very, very thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when I lost all my everything in the takeaway, when I lost everything and I sold up and everything, we was flat broke, bro. We had zero but a zero. And normally a person only has one chance in life. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has picked us and given us another chance. And just to take that in and acknowledge it, we didn't speak until we got home, like. And then when we got home, after a little while, like chai and kapita, we started talking. And I thought, fucking hell, you know, what have we done here now? And this is going to be the new thing. Sheikha, you've smashed it here, like, you know what I mean? And this was like 6 years ago now. So then what we started doing is we started visiting different towns all around my local vicinity. So I've started going all up North Wales, Rill, Preston, Queensferry, Flint, and we've had the same bang effect every single time, because the way it works is it's as busy as, you know, when a brand new shop opens in a place. Say for instance you've got a brand new takeaway that's open in Bradford. That first night of opening he's going to have a queue out the door, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially when you're known for being good in what you do. Like,
definitely.
even at the queue. So what I've done is, in effect, I'm opening a brand new dessert parlour in a different town every night of the week. Bang!
No,
Get what I mean?
definitely. It's basically mobile.
It's a mobile dessert parlour travelling to a different town, going for that bang effect.
Yeah.
Daily.
So,
And then we only would ever go back, and then it progressed from there. And mashallah, I've done every single town, every part of Liverpool, every part of the world, every single little place of it,
Scotland.
all of North Wales. I've only been once to Scotland. I've done all of North Wales. I've gone. The M5 is a 127 mile long M5, so I've gone all the way to Birmingham. I've done everything like Shrewsbury, Oswestry, Telford, Welshpool, Bishopscleave, Ludlow, Hereford. Every single town, many times I've been on. And then I've ended up as far as Land's End in Cornwall.
wow.
Yeah, so I've done everywhere, all down the M5, Bristol, all the different parts of Bristol, Somerset, Yeovil, Frome, places that you've not even heard of. I've gone and licked off me ice creams, big time. Yeah,
Big off shot.
do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Mashallah, sometimes we used to have queues, char canteen queue, people waiting. And then, when we ended up in Cornwall, yeah, one day on the way back from there, I said to the missus, I said, "Baby, mashallah, alhamdulillah, now we need to look at making it a bit easier for ourselves. We need to do something else now. Well, we're still on the same number, but we're not having to do these mad journeys." Because literally, because we was always going for that wow effect.
Yeah.
We had to go to the next town, the next town, the next town,
Just getting
the next town, just getting further and further and further. Yeah, just getting further and further either way, And on the way back from Cornwall, the Magavi Chaya said, "Mashallah, you've boxed this now. This is your thing now. Alhamdulillah, Allah's blessed you. You're on it with this now. Your social media at the time was like 250,000.
Wow.
My Facebook post was getting seen by 70,000, 80,000 people were seeing my post. I learned so many tricks how to use Facebook that even to this day I've not seen people using Facebook in that same way.
100%.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things you can do with Facebook that people don't suss down. But there's so many ways of not paying them a penny but using the platform really well. That alhamdulillah, Allah's blessed me with the knowledge to increase my whatever I'm doing with it. So then we started discussing about actually manufacturing the ice cream 3 years ago, and that's what we did.
So, for how long were you?
I was doing these mad journeys for a period of 6 years, bro. Crazy journeys, fam. Madness.
So
And then we increased our fleet. I bought another van, brand new, bought another van, got my brother onto it, got my father-in-law onto it, this, that. Everybody's, we've got like, mashallah, 6-7 vans in the house now.
Mashallah.
And we're doing bits now, and mashallah, obviously there's a lot of them doing events and birthdays and weddings, and they're all running off my page, mashallah, what I've created. And alhamdulillah, it's a blessing. It's made it a lot easier for our family. People are doing this and that. They're not to do this and that now. They're working legitimately, doing a real business where we can progressively grow on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you said, you started your manufacturing plant. I've been down there. It's got a really, really good setup. What do you do to keep your product consistent and quality? Because like you said, when businesses normally open up in an area, you have that bang at the beginning. And that's mainly because people in the local area, it's not that they're sick of the food that they're trying, but they want something new. And something new does come to town. You have that 6-month teething period where businesses go, you can either make or break your business. So what have you done or implemented? Because you've been in the trade now that long. When you open up your manufacturing plant, getting the process set up to make your own milk to go out and serve to the customers, what are you doing to ensure that quality and consistency stays there?
So basically, first of all, hygiene is imperative. Hygiene in this business is imperative. There's a lot of listeria. You must have heard of listeria. Is a bacteria associated with ice cream milk. What decreases the shelf life of the product, and that is a bacteria that you need to have stringent cleaning schedules to make sure that is not even in your product. That's one of the things what makes it so fresh. Alhamdulillah. So the cleanliness side of it is imperative. You see my factory. My factory, I can get anybody to say, right, a complete stranger can say, "Can I go inside your factory?" and I'll welcome him in, because I know it's up to standard every single time. Secondly, we're always trying to use the best high quality ingredient that we can find, that money can buy. You know, what you got to remember is when you get a product, there's always 3 levels of that product. There's a very good, I mean, just for instance, atta. There's a very good, there's a mediocre, and there's a low. You know, we always go for the very good in every ingredient aspect. You know, so alhamdulillah, every aspect of the ingredient is high quality. Secondly, we don't water the product down. We manufacture the product as it should be. A lot of people, you know, when you're manufacturing, just as I'm going to give you an example, just these crisps. When you were a kid and Walker's was at the top, when you had a Monster Munch, bro, it used to burn your tongue. That's how much flavour there was in it.
Yeah.
Now you can smash a full packet of Monster Munch and there's not that much flavour in. You can just have it. It's just like having chunks of corn. That's because they've watered the product down.
Yeah.
They took away the quality out of it and they've maximised profits from it by reducing the quality of the product. You get me?
Yeah.
Well, alhamdulillah, our product has not been watered down. We've not took any quality out of it. We're trying to keep it as good as we can get it because our way of working is seeing the end user's results. Their happiness is what does it for me. Do you get me? It's not the money aspect of it. Alhamdulillah, money is key in everything. But the main drive, the motivation for me, and the one that things me committed to what I'm doing is the customer satisfaction that I see. That does it for me, bro.
So in terms of, you said that you're using the absolute best ingredients that money can buy. With the recent surge of ingredients and the costings of everything, how did you adapt in that situation and what did you do to...
Well, on a wholesale level, to all my people that supply, obviously we've had to have a price increase. You know, obviously that's obvious, we've had to have a price increase. With my retail side of it, we've took most of the brunt of the extra costs on our own head.
Wow.
Because I figure, I mean, I charge £6 for a tray and I charge £7 for a hot dessert. In fact, up to 4 months ago, it was £6 for the hot desserts as well. I've only recently put £1 on the hot desserts because we've had to, because most of them ingredients are nearly double in price now. The fudge cakes are nearly double in price. The gulab jamuns have gone up by a third. The waffles are double in price. The brownies are double in price. You know, these things have gone up exponentially. So I've had to have an increase on £1. But the ice cream trays was £6 2 years ago, and it's still £6 now.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. We've took that effect on because alhamdulillah, we sell that much of the product.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to keep it to, I mean, some people will still disagree with me, say, oh, it's too expensive, but for what you're getting a lot of product for that money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting a product that's premium. There's no shortage of topping because, I mean, Munchboxes had it. That amount of topping, we put that amount of topping on absolutely everybody. So it doesn't matter who it is, whether we know them or not, whether it's English, Jamaican, Chinese, black, white, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi, everything. Everyone gets that same level of treatment.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
For me personally, and it's not just saying it because I know you, I've come from a background, family who do business in fast food, restaurant, takeaways. I personally believe, you know, the way you've got your blueprint set up, it's not just about your product, that is the main part, but because it's like, look, you know, when you go to a theatre to watch someone like opera, if you go to see one of the, what do you call them when you used to be kids? Pantomimes, that's it. If you go to watch a football game, you're going out of your way to do something. The same way when you're coming to any city, people are going out of their way not just for your product, it's because of who you are. You've built a brand over time, and that success is not overnight. Like some people can go viral overnight. Like you said, obviously something that you mentioned on the podcast, but off of the podcast, like how he's seen different platforms, how they work, how you've seen Facebook and how you mastered the technique to market your business. But did it get to a point where, you know, like you mentioned to me before, where you seen Facebook and you hit that wall and then you transitioned over to TikTok? So
TikTok's been out for about 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's been out for 3 years, and from day one, my daughters, again, social media, it runs in our blood now, because obviously we use it for business, and my daughters use it to answer messages, and you know, they look at it, and my Instagram mashallah is leaned down 60k as well. I don't even look at my Instagram because I don't even understand it. I don't understand how it works. My eldest daughter runs that. Everything that she puts on there, she answers the messages and everything. And they used to say to me, Dad, you're the perfect character to have a TikTok account, Because I used to wear these funny shirts. I'm very boisterous. I'm quite, you could say, flamboyant. I'm quite energetic. I get on with people. I'm quite quirky. I think different, you know, and I don't repeat myself. It's fresh. They used to say, Dad, you'd be best at TikTok. You'd be amazing. You'd be brilliant. So anyway, I downloaded TikTok and I had a look at it, and I didn't like it, you know. I didn't like, at the time, what I used to see in it. I used to see a lot of vulgarity. I didn't really see at that time people using it for business. You know, people weren't using TikTok for business. It was just more like having a laugh, and just half scantily clad women, just thirsty fellas just loving them, what they're doing, and some goody who's not got nothing else to offer is just, you know, there, and she's got 250,000 likes, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this, man? And that kind of stuff does not interest me. It used to, in fact, it used to upset me, because this is the kind of thing that the kids are looking at now, you know what I mean? And for that reason, I never acted on my TikTok, and I never went anywhere with it, and I never focused on it, and I never put myself towards using TikTok as a platform for myself. Now, this is in November, was it 21? Yeah, November the 15th, 16th, we're on holiday in Turkey, right. And we've got a couple of rainy days, and we're sat in the hotel, and my girls are saying, Dad, why don't you do something on TikTok? Do something, Dad, do it. So anyway, this is in November 2021. I thought, right, sorry, I'll do something, I'll start having a play about with it. So I started posting on TikTok in a holiday in Turkey, and I've not put nothing original on there. I've only put stuff what I had in my phone, what I've already posted on Facebook and various other platforms. You know, like my daughter's posted on Insta, and I've just started posting things from my phone. Next thing you know, it starts blowing up. Yeah, and I've not posted a single thing original on it. You know, it starts to start building up. Come March 2022. I'm on like 40,000 followers, you know what I mean? From nothing. I've not even focused on it. I've not even put any effort into it. I've not put no energy into it. I've literally just been posting things that I've got on my phone.
All content.
Anyway, by the time I've now got this many followers, I'm thinking, right, what the following can you believe? With me being Asian, I started getting quite a few Pakistanis adding me as well, you know, like Pakistanis, because one thing I've noticed about our culture, alhamdulillah, we're very, very clever, very, very good at mashallah everything. And this is no disregard to any of us brothers and sisters, but this is what I found in my personal experience. With me operating on Facebook, I used to go to Birmingham and I used to do my thing, and I never ever get a single app when I come in, because they're not interested in what happens on Facebook. It doesn't bother them. True. They're no interest in it. Why? Because the paragraph worth of writing, they don't want to read it. If it pops up on their Facebook, they fast forward it, they skip it.
Yeah.
And I've been Birmingham for years and years. I've been going to Birmingham for years and years. I've been to many, many different areas in Birmingham, but I've not had any single app when I come for the ice cream.
Yeah.
Never.
They've just never made it down to the bottom of the page.
They've just never.
The location.
They've just
I never really read anything. I'm always kind of a visual person.
Exactly that. And I think majority of my brothers and sisters are the same. So I never had a response from Apne on Facebook. So I was just serving ice cream to Caucasian people in the mass in there. I mean, I was in Birmingham. I wouldn't get Apne coming to me in Brum. Yeah. Where now it's just a totally different one. But anyway, with me being a Pakistani, people were picking up that this guy's a Pakistani, yeah, and they started following me, you know, because I'm a Pakistani, and I started getting messages off TikTok saying you should start going live and you will see benefits from it and this and that. Why do you not go live? And because I'd never gone live up to this point, so you should start using the live feature, and it's beneficial, and you can get gifts and you can grow up and you get more followers and this and that. Anyway, yeah. So what I've done is I'm in Worcester now. Yeah. And I'm in Worcester, and Worcester's a predominantly Caucasian area again. I'm parked up doing my thing, but there is an Asian market there as well. So I've sussed out the live, and it took me a little while. Anyway, I've sussed it out. I put live on, and I just put my phone there, and next thing you know, I got like 2,500 viewers, because it was the first time ever that I put it on. I got 2,500, 3,000 people watching me serve ice cream, and this is what started the TikTok thing off now, yeah. And they're watching me serve ice cream, and with me being an opener, a lot of opening watching. I'm thinking, yo, what's this guy doing? Yeah? And I'm a character in my van, you know what I mean? I really get on with people, Snapchat for everyone, and people buzz off that. And people are actually visually watching what I'm doing in my van and thinking, yo, we wanna get saved off this guy, like, you know what I mean? And then happening started coming in Worcester. No, I didn't even think there was any happening there. They started, by the end of the night, I've got loads of happening in the queue. And they've come to see this happening, I'm serving them. And I thought, I've never served an apron for 5-6 years, bro. It was just a pure Caucasian thing.
Yeah.
I'm as Muslim as you're going to get, yeah? But it never had that impact through Facebook. Anyway, I started saving these aprons, buzzing off the live. I switched the live. I've got about 6,000 followers, Joe, just off that first live.
Wow.
It went mad. And that was my first ever one. Obviously, I've never had that impact again, I don't think. But that first ever live that I did was just blew me up, like. Next day I thought, right, it's a Pakistani, but it turned out it's a Pakistani, yeah. And they were all happening there, adding me on, following me on, because obviously you go through the names and spent all night studying it. Bilal and Muhammad and Fatima and Nisa and Hadika and Bushra, and they're all happening and following me. I'm thinking, right, I need to think of something for the happening to get them out there, like. So we're going to Redditch the day after. We're going to Redditch, that is again predominantly a Caucasian area on the outskirts of Birmingham. But we had to do a pit stop on Alum Rock Road because my missus had ordered some clothes for Eid that was coming up, and she wanted to pick clothes up.
Yeah.
So she's gone to Alum Rock Road, and I'm in the van parked up. No one really knows who we are, so we're just parked up in the van. And I'm very, very fond of that buffalo milk mithai from Mushtaq's.
Oh, man.
It's amazing. So I sent her in there to get me a kilo of that, which I'm going to smash straight away, yeah? And she also, at the same time, off her own back, she buys a load of gulab jamun and mixed mithai and this and that. And anyway, there's about 7 dane gulab jamun in the beach. So she comes back in the van, and obviously, me, I'm very experimentative.
Yeah.
I'm all right. This could be the thing for the happening. Yeah. Guess me, yo, this is no joke. So I'm parked up on Alum Rock Road here now, outside Mushtaq's. So I've got them gulab jamun, I put them in a tray, yeah? And this is one of the first TikToks that I've actually made as original content.
Yeah.
Yeah? So I made a video of this gulab jamun ice cream tray. I just put some nuts on it like I do. I put a video of it on and it's gone bang. But they got it, oh, I want to try it, I want to taste it, Yes, just literally this gulab jamun ice cream. It's had 500,000 views and it's had 57,000 likes and it's just going viral, bro. And I thought, right, this is what they want. This is for the happening, bro. Yeah, this is for us, lot. Yeah. So the next day, first I didn't use Nafis, so the next day I ring Bolton Man shop. Oh, lala me, that's 12 kilo gulab jamun jainin. I didn't know how much I was getting. So anyway, I've got 10-12 kilos of gulab jamun, and I thought, right, where can I go to have max impact with this newfound way of working? Because I'm a very experimentative guy. And if anything happens, I'll act on it. I won't let it just think that's a fluke. I'll class it as a sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you need to act on this and you need to pick up on it, you need to emphasize it, and you need to build on it. That's what I do. So anyway, I rang Manshal, got 10-12 kilos of gulab jamun. I thought to my missus, I said, Budye, I'm Bradford son. Yeah, because obviously it's the centre of the Asian community in the whole of the country.
Yeah.
You know, Birmingham and Bradford, they're on a par, like, they're on a level. So I've said to my missus, we're going to Bradford today. It was a Sunday. And I posted, I said, right, we're coming to Bradford, we're bringing the gulab jamun. I said, that's the day. You come and see me, that's the first ever time that I tried experimenting with you. You come on that night. And you thought, Ratis, what is going on here?
So listen, check this one. I've landed here. I'm with one of the boys, Zach. Pulled up, and the sickest thing is the way you were doing it. So now it's a bit different. It depends where he goes. Some people will come walk up to him, get served like that, and then some people, if they're lazy, they'll go in the car and do like a drive-through. So he was parked in Tesco, Greyhound Road.
Okay.
I've come, I'm sat there, I'm on live now. There's a medium-ish queue there. It's not too bad.
So because of his life, half Bradford ended up there. So
I'm sitting there, and within 20 minutes, that queue's gone next level. Now my mate saying to me, you dickhead, when there was about 10-15 cars here, we was in the queue, you parked up in the parking spot. Now the queue's going out of Tesco car park up the Greyhound Road. And I'm that type of person, you know, if I go somewhere, even if it's to do with food reviews, I will always want to be treated like a normal customer. I don't like that VIP treatment.
No, of course.
And to be fair, mashallah, every time you've been to me, like many times, you actually wait in the queues and whatnot, and he's actually had fun in the crowd before it's his time to get served. Sometimes, obviously, I've said, get over here, get in the van, sit on that seat, because obviously now it's like brotherhood, actually, you know what I mean? But in the initial stages, again, he was just wanted to be treated like he didn't want to have any favoritism or anything of the sort.
Sorry, you carry on over here. Just this is where. Can you hear it? Can you hear that noise?
Let me get up. You carry on talking.
So when you came to Bradford, like I said, I was sat there. I seen all these cars come, and the craziest thing for me was that I'm like I was saying, I'm that type of person. Wherever I go, I never want that VIP experience or that treatment. So my mate's like effing and blindly and like, we could have done this, we could have done that. I go, could have, would have, should have. It's happened now. So I've got up, and I think you've seen me on live as well. So I've come up giving you salam, and I go, look, I've come. I do want to try your ice cream out. There's a big queue. And you're like, no, Mr. Munchpop, this, that. No, don't worry, we're going to box you up. I'm like, yeah, that is a big queue. I feel bad. And then that lady was actually looking at me. She was giving me days as well. And I'm like, Auntie, I'm sorry.
Because it was the very first time, there's a lot of hype to it. People, there's a lot of kids that, you know, it became such a, I mean, this is in the very early stages of me using TikTok. And the queue was big, the people waiting.
Something's tapping.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, what is it your fault?
No, it's probably just my leg touching his wire here.
It's just so sensitive.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't expect it to be as busy as it was.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, I didn't think it was going to go that busy. I knew I was going to do all right because I had interest in the post, but I didn't think it was going to go as viral as it is. So literally, we've got like 40 cars stood in the car park, of course. All in a big line just stretching out the car park. So obviously, people are waiting an hour and 10 minutes. And I've only bought one van. If I'd have known, I'd have bought two, I'd have bought three, you know what I mean? So I'm banging out these ice creams and Munchbox getting sorted. So this is now, and all up there watching, so like the live's on again, and this experience of people are watching me and the ice cream one, saving all these up there. So I'm starting getting followers, because Bradford's one of them places. It's got cousins. If you're in Bradford, you've got a cousin in every part of the country. You know what I mean? So there's people looking at me from everywhere because they're sharing the live and this and that. So it's just literally blowing up. So that was the first precursor to this, to the growth, not success, the growth that we've seen using the TikTok app within the Apple community. And alhamdulillah, I'm so blessed because I've always wanted to serve the Apple, but they never came to me, bro. But TikTok now is my means of reach to them because all the Apple are on TikTok, like they don't bother with Facebook. You know, when you say it to many people, they say, have you got a menu? I say, go and look at my Facebook. They say, I've not got Facebook. They've not even got Facebook, bro.
The thing is, for myself, what I've seen, because I do post on Facebook, and I've got decent enough following, not as big as yours, mashallah. But the thing is that every platform has its own metrics, you know, when it comes to it. And you can see yourself, the analytics, you know, especially when you're doing a lot of content creation. The thing with Facebook is it's more for people our age and a bit older. The younger generation, and that is what pulls it in. Because look now, when the kids are watching your videos, they're telling the parents, "Oh, Mr. T's, we need to go." And they're like, "Oh." Because it is what it is. Sometimes parents are busy doing what they're doing, but kids do. It's even like I met a lady once, and she goes to me, "Oh, brother, you know, you make really good videos, funny videos, but you're costing me a fortune because every time you post a video, the kids are wanting to go there." So the same thing, you'll see how many kids come up, they pass the phone to you, and your personality and what you've created, you show that off. And in Bradford, when you came, I seen that. And you know, this
Ice cream Ijaw.
How did that come about?
My dad origin in Pakistan. He used to be one of them people. He used to sit on a manji. People used to come from everywhere just to sit with him because that's how much of a guppy he was with his language and his rhymes and his this and his that. I think it's a genetic thing, to be honest. And then mashallah, he was a very, very popular guy in Pakistan just purely simply because of his personality. My dad was the same. My dad was a very, very popular guy, very likeable, very funny, he could rhyme anything, this, that, you know. His words would flow, he'd never get lost for words, he was very outgoing, very colourful personality, and alhamdulillah, I think they passed that to me. Kind of the same thing, you know, these words and this and that, they're just genetically, I think it definitely has got something to do with genetics, the brain power of making words rhyme and things, just having that confidence in speech is something that's passed down in the blood. I personally think, because my son's got it now. You know, he's an English version of me. Not when I'm there, but when I'm not there, he's very confident and he's got that boisterousness and you know, like I see other kids and they've just not got that, but I think it's just something in the genetics and how I am as a person. You know, for make a Snapchat to be interesting and to be funny and to be laughed at, it's got to be funny and it's got to do something funny. It's got to have that impact, as a TikTok has to have impact. So is the Snap, you know, it's got to have impact. And alhamdulillah, Allah's blessed me immensely, bro. I cannot thank him enough for the blessings that he's bestowed upon me.
No, definitely. You've grown a lot.
Yeah. Sideways as well as upwards.
I'll let you say that.
You're opposite two big laughs here, so
I think all of us in the food business.
So, you know, I've had experiences throughout my social media journey. Is there something I want to ask you, like something that someone, if it's a customer or even just the general public, if they haven't come to you, if it's maybe through a message or even face to face, when you've been out on the roads like touring, you know, going out city to city, what's something that stood out for you and that's kind of like warmed up your heart that someone's done? It could be anything, if it's a gesture, if someone's gone out of the way to do something. What stood out for you, like in these 6-7 years that you've done it? That obviously, there's a lot of stuff I see myself on live when you're in different cities. People come out, they bring you food, you know, they show you love. But what's one thing that probably, if from all them experiences, that would stand out for you?
Just the chance to engage with less able children.
Yeah.
You know, Allah's very mysterious in how He works, and I really appreciate when somebody brings a less able child to me. They don't have to queue. I've got a protocol set up where they can just bang on my window and service driver. If I spot them, they come straight to the front. But being able to bring a bit of happiness to a less able child that starts watching me all night long, because I've got a lot of YouTube videos out there as well. Some of them have 20 million views and things like that. Massive they are. And a lot of kids really like watching them. But when a less able child comes to me, that's one of my best ever feelings of work. I really enjoy that. That does it for me. I like to make sure that that child had the service, I won't say better than anybody else, but has had my service with my heart.
The best of your ability.
My best of my ability. Yeah. That's one of the things I really like doing.
Makes a difference though, doesn't it? It shows you like... That for me is very, very satisfaction. Yeah. That for me is giving me job satisfaction. Brother, money is not everything. No, 100%.
Yeah? Money is not everything. But these kind of things, they give me a lot of satisfaction. Especially when I've been able to make a difference somewhere. That gives me a lot of satisfaction. And you know, these things... I really appreciate it when a person brings their less able child. That's something I really, really wish I would get a lot more of.
It's crazy. So... Fast forwarding it to where we are now, you know, in terms of your business, your growth, where do you see yourself going?
Allah jane, but we're doing our best to, mashallah. Now we're very, very stable in our manufacturing. My recipes, I think I've got them down to a T now, pardon the pun. Yeah. You know, the next stage for us now is obviously making that product readily available even when I'm not there. Which means kind of following suit where building a product where it's available in shops. So I've done many, many things. I'm up to a stage where we've actually had sample testing and product testing and recipe confirmation and recipe configuration and things like that, where we're going to be launching a pot very soon, inshallah. There's no day set yet as well. It's still like a long piece of string. There's a lot of investment to be done. But inshallah, Allah ne hukum nal, the mawpuni du'an nal. We're going to be launching a pot sometime soon in the near future, which is going to be my version of a Ben & Jerry's equivalent with me on the couch. I'll show you a video now, Has. I think you've not seen this. But this is, we're quite on with the project. I think you'll like this.
Next level. You know, so, good though. if you did like a gulab jamun, like the
I'm going to do lots of them. I'm going to do a lot of desi flavors. So this is one of my things that I want to. Obviously, I've got a very big, alhamdulillah, reach within the Asian market now, and I've also got a lot of fellow friends that are very set up in these supplying Asian markets and Asian wholesalers, Manchester Superstore and Bismillah Superstore, people like that. So inshallah, we want to do this.
That's a good one, right?
You feel like trying?
What?
I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose weight.
Nobody's. We're doing a half fat version as well.
Yes.
Nobody's wrong.
Perfect. No, mashallah, that looks
So you know
wicked.
what, and I think that for me now is inshallah. I mean, I'm pushing myself towards it. Still very, very early stages, but I would like to be somewhere in my lifetime if I could, be at this stage, inshallah, where I'm manufacturing, because my factory is ready for this. I've got room, I've got space, I've set it up, I've put the blueprint down, my freezers, my blast freezers, I've got it all ready for all that already. So say for instance, 100% of the machinery that I'm going to need, I've already got 60% of it in there. But it's the 40% that's the very expensive stuff that I've not got yet, that I need to get to actually finalise this product. And when it does happen, when it does happen, I think, inshallah, I think my brothers and sisters helped me to get so far, so good in many things that I've done. I'm sure this is going to go well. The brand is already, like you said, the brand is mashallah everywhere. Whether you go Luton, whether you go London, whether you go Cornwall, whether you go Torquay, Devon, Bristol, Southampton, up to Glasgow, everywhere. The brand is already, awareness of it is there. It just needs that product to fill in that gap now. And I've also thought of marketing strategies. I've also thought of POS. I've also thought of how my freezers are going to look. I've thought of many, many different things I want to do. It's just about actually getting them implemented now and doing what I want and actually getting the product out there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So when that happens, inshallah, Allah, when it does happen, that's going to be a big career and a life-changing thing for me. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be my product. It's going to be getting manufactured, even when I'm not there. Because obviously, once you set that up, you have people running things like that. It's going to run itself. It's going to become a 24-hour operation, inshallah. And obviously, it's going to be all over the country. It's going to be people selling my product for me, you know what I mean, in effect,
It's like what you're saying there, it's beneficial to yourself, but when you're setting up such a big operation, you're going to be opening job opportunities for a lot of people as well.
Exactly that.
Which is a big thing. Yeah. So, obviously we all have dreams, we have ambitions, we have goals.
Of course.
This itself, do you want to keep it within the UK or do you want to go international with it?
To be honest, once you get to a certain stage, going international becomes quite easy, I would say.
Yeah.
But initially I would like to start locally and then build it slowly, because I would personally not want to say, right, bam, it's available nationwide today, because I'm going to make a lot of mistakes when I start initially. I want to keep my circle tight. I want to keep my product tight. I want to have my eye on my product for at least a full year, to see where it's going, to see how it's selling it, to see who's selling it. I want to have a good control over it, to make sure my manufacturing capabilities are up to my dispatch capabilities, and the numbers are matching and there's not shortfall in product, and I keep up to it and it's selling well, within control, without overdoing it, without having a shoddy product going out, without cutting corners. So I just want to do it slowly. I don't want to rush into it. Everything happens itself, you know what I mean? I don't want to land in Marzuni. But if I say to myself, bam, right, we're available nationwide, and the product's not there, it's going to give me a bad image. But I want to grow it slowly.
He's feeling you. He's feeling you.
I want the product to grow slowly, and I want the coverage of the country to grow slowly. And then obviously, once you've mastered a full country, bro, once you've got your manufacturing capabilities up to supplying a country's demand, bro, then it's very easy then, isn't it? Then things just pop up. So then just your flow of asset, then you get people want to invest. Especially if the product's going well, it's probably, social media tactics. My thought in social media when I launched this product, what I've thought of, I've not seen nobody do these tactics that I've thought of. Not even the big players. I've thought of the things that I want to do with my social channels when my product is ready. Alhamdulillah.
Good. So, young kid, 18, 19 years old, if you could give them 3 pieces of advice to make them successful in their entrepreneurial journey, what 3 key traits do you think that kid needs to have from a young age or needs to learn from a young age?
Respect. Respect, not just elders around you, immediate elders, parents, getting the blessings of them. Blessings of other people's parents, it's all about respect. Respect is a big thing. You need to make sure you respect everyone. You can't disrespect somebody and expect to be rewarded for that, You're chopping your own leg when you start disrespecting me. The parents' du'as are very, very difficult to achieve. You need to make sure you achieve your parents' du'as. Keep steadfast in your deen. Make sure you do what you need to do. Make sure you do what you need to do. Secondly, lastly, in my personal opinion, want for others what you want for yourself. Don't think I'm going to have him off. I'm going to keep this myself. You want him to have what you're having before you have it yourself. When you think like that, things work out for you, in my personal opinion.
I think that is the perfect mindset, and the thing that I sometimes struggle with is some people don't see it like that. Some people see that as competition. Some people see that as they're taking money away from your pockets. Some people see it as a really bad thing. But as you've just explained, you can never lose out by giving. And you're living proof of that.
Brother, alhamdulillah, I'm very popular on the social media channel with Facebook, within the English community as well as the Asian community. Brother, I've had many ice cream mans from all over the country say, help us, guide us, advise us. Brother, I've told every single one, whether I know him or not, whether it's a complete stranger, whether it's an Albanian, Italian, Pakistani, Indian, Bengali, I've told them word for word exactly how I would do what I've done. I had no one to teach me. I made a lot of losses. I had to throw lots of things away. And you know what? My irada and my want bees is anybody who asks me, I don't want him to lose nothing. I want him to not have that loss that I incurred. I want him to be able to say that guy's advised me right and I didn't incur any losses. I want him to have a heads up on what I have. So alhamdulillah, I advise everyone. I tell everybody everything. Because there's enough money in this country, there's enough reserve. Bro, I can't be everywhere in one time. I can't be everywhere, but when a man thinks this is all mine and it's just my pie to play, it's just my pie. Bro, that's narrow-mindedness, bro. Everybody's got their own rosy written. And the more you help people, the better it is for you. Then people, it works in many ways. When I became a manufacturer, one of the first things that happened, alhamdulillah, I'm so blessed. The first things that happened, all them people that I helped and advised, the next day they started buying my milk. I didn't have to ask none of them. They did it themselves. Because, not that I wanted them to, but that person in his own mind feels obliged. He feels some kind of love for you, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So he feels some kind of compassion for you when you've been good with that person. That's how it is. That's just how the mind works. So if I've taught so many different people how to run this ice cream thing like I do, alright, a lot of them have not had the results and success that I've had, but they're doing a lot better than what they were. You know what I mean? But then they feel obliged to make sure that they're in my circle in some way or other. Alhamdulillah.
Now, next thing, I'm recently married. I only got married last October, and I kind of resonated when you spoke about your missus back when you were struggling to make ends meet, and I just wanted to ask, of course you expressed that she supported you, but were there times where it was hard, and how did you feel then, kind of?
Brother, you know what, alhamdulillah, I'm again so lucky. My wife has been the backbone of my life from day one. And I think every good woman deserves all the happiness in the world, you know what I mean? And the ones that stick through the thick and the thin, the ones that are there in the bad times, they deserve to see the stars in the good times. You know, and it's just about, you know, I find nowadays a lot of relationships, they crumble too easily because people are easily influenced. People listen to their friends, people listen to the social media aspect of life, people, you know, people acknowledge another person, complimenting them and things like that. But I think a good Muslim woman in our culture stands by a man no matter what happens, through thick and thin. And you know, if it wasn't for my missus, I don't think I would have ever recovered from the shock that I had after losing my takeaways and things like that. You know, it was due to her that I'm where I am today, mashallah. Definitely, 100%.
No, I can resonate with that because she's so supportive with me, and it's such early doors. And like you mentioned, you do see relationships being very rocky nowadays, and it's sad to see.
It's very sad. You know, for me, it's heartbreaking. I mean, mashallah, this February the 28th, we'll have been married for 25 years.
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
That's nearly as...
That's nearly as how old I am. I'm only 26.
Wow. Is that all you are?
How old did you think I was?
I thought you was in your 30s, bro.
I was going to say when you got married, he was a concept, but he was 1 year old, so I can't even say that.
So, yeah.
It's because I've got no hair, but no, I'm only 26 years old. I need to go get a transplant. No, it's good. It's good. It is hard to be there for your wife, but what I believe is it's a 50-50 split. Yeah. Like, some men don't put in the effort with their wife that they should. Clean up the dishes, put the washing out, pick up the kids from school, put in the effort. It's very simple to live.
Of course. It's not about compassion, isn't it? It's about compatibility, and it's about finding a formula where you're both mutually accepting it and you're happy with that. You know, it's about finding that balance between your lives. You know, everybody's got their own things to do, but everybody's got, you know, once you're married, it's your duty then, from the husband's side and the wife's side, to ensure the happiness and the well-being of your partner. You know what I mean? It's a major thing. And, you know, with that comes, she might have to listen to him in a couple of ways, and he might have to listen to her in a couple of ways, and make amendments to form a compatible relationship with each other. It doesn't happen overnight.
It's all about compromise, isn't it?
It's all about compromise,
100%.
But again, I find it nowadays, the relationships crumble way too easily. I mean, and it's very, very heartbreaking.
Why do you think that is?
I think the social media side of life has made the world too accessible to people, and it's very easy for people to think that there's find comfort in words of others. You know, people like, for instance, now, you know, as an example, this is not related to nobody or anything, but there's women out there that are married, and just as an example, they're getting compliments from other people in their inbox, and they're keeping it hidden from their husband. And then when the shit hits the fan and the relationship breaks up, she's already got somebody there to go to. Do you understand what I mean?
No, of course.
No. Basically, that is one side of things, but
the same applies to men.
Yeah.
You know, men are the exact same. They can be in the exact same situation. I mean, I just used a woman as an example, but a man is probably in the same situation, and in fact, in many cases, if not a lot more. You know.
So how do you think they can filter this out? Because, like you say, you know, one thing from my own personal experience that I can put forward is that
how my relationship works with my missus. It's clear and open transparency.
Yeah.
I've not got a PIN number set on my phone. She's actually logged into every single account of mine. There's nothing here. There's no need to hide anything. She's logged into my messages, so she can look at, you know. The only thing that she's not logged in on, what she tried the other night, she was trying to do that with my eyes, was my mobile banking. She woke up, she was having a right laugh with us. I was like, what's wrong with you? She goes, I can't man, like a mad on her phone call. That's the only thing.
He's got extra security passwords.
So I took the first idea of that, man.
But it's all about trust, isn't it?
It's a lot about trust, bro.
Trust is one thing, but it's like, look, people could be happily married, but then it's not about trust in that sense where a relationship breaks down. You know, like, look, you're going out, you're working, and one plus side to your job is that your wife, your partner is your co-worker, and she works with you, and that's a big advantage because you're on the road together, you see the struggle, the hardship. But what kind of happens in this day and age is now is that a lot of people, especially the younger generation, they're looking on social media, they're seeing these social media couples, and they're wishing what they've got for themselves, which is fine, but jealousy and other things creep in. And then if the man's going out working long hours, whatever it is, and then if the woman or whichever partner, if it's the man or the woman,
vice versa,
if they're not seeing attention, because it's very important to spend time with your partner,
of course.
and it's not about going out to fancy restaurants or going in a park. And romance is important and being caring is important, but you don't always have to go out, because people believe that if you go to a nice restaurant, you can go anywhere, because it's not about where you go, it's who you're with.
That's it.
You could go to the local chippy, get a bag of chips, salt and vinegar, get like a chili sauce. And the thing is, from my personal experience and what I've seen and what I've heard around me, is that a lot of relationships don't just break down. Yeah, you have people who cheat, you have people who do things, and people who mess around, and whatever it is. If a man is bored of his wife, and one of the reasons I believe, and I'm gonna say it as it is that a lot of the younger generation, before they get married, they pollute their minds through a certain topic. They watch it constantly, they read up on it, and basically, even if you Google it, I think Pakistan is in the top 3 of within that industry viewership. Now the thing is, when a man, now it's not just something that I'm thinking or presuming. I've had inboxes from people saying X, Y, and Z. Unfortunately, when it comes to men, watch it, they fantasize about it, and now when they're getting married, now this is not about putting a stigma on the man or the woman, it's just
as an
example. When a man gets married and he's been filtering his mind through that, dirt, and putting it through the gun, and they've got this expectation that, look, I've seen this guy do this and that, and then when they get married, if their partner hasn't had any past relationships, we're not going to even get into that. That's besides the point, if they have or haven't, if they've got experience or not, or if they like, people have that joke, like high mileage, this and that. We're not going to get into that. It's just the basics. When a guy, from what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've seen people discuss, because look, sometimes you go to a coffee shop, you sit down, you be drinking, and it's not eavesdropping, but when people are talking, you hear it. So what I've seen through even DMs is that men, and this is not just about men, it could be either way. From a woman, if her, like parents have kept it in a certain way, and if a man, she marries who she loves and he can't keep it that same way, in terms of finances, and they want expensive stuff, things can break down. But getting back to the original point of like, when a man gets married and he's got these thoughts in his head, then that bichari he's marrying, irrelevant of what her past isn't, if she's or not. When he's got these expectations and she can't fulfill it, then he goes looking elsewhere thinking that I'm gonna get it, but unfortunately he isn't, because the stuff that he's watching, that's not real. But it's not even real, because they paid actors, and they're just there doing whatever they're doing. They're getting paid to create a position for the person to see it, to get kicks out of it. And a lot of marriages, it's not all of them, because there's a number of reasons why marriages break down. People probably, when they were going out with each other, if they did, when you're meeting each other, it's convenient, and you don't see each other 24/7, but when you actually live together, share the same bed, the same space, the same toilet, there's a lot of habits that people be like, OCD, people can get the ick. But for me personally, I've seen it that a lot of young lads, when they watch that, when they get married, that's one of the main reasons why they go out looking. Like, if you're getting biryani at home, if you're getting chapal, I'm not on about in the reference of food, in that relationship, that love, that compassion, there's no need for you to go out. And it's not that you have an excuse or you can use it. The thing is, when these things happen, the man won't speak to the woman. He'll just quickly be, okay, this hasn't happened, let me go look for it. And the issue is that when you do stuff like that, your mind is so polluted, it's not even either way, whichever way you look at it, it's not the man or woman's fault, because they haven't acted upon the way that you want them to, but unfortunately they're not willing to compromise. And that's just one thing that is the truth. If you look at it, and when it comes to this subject, you have to say, because look, I know you're probably thinking, what's this guy going on? He's going on the next tangent.
No, but unfortunately,
I have to say, you know, I'm not scared to speak the truth. You know, it's because I understand when it comes to our religion and it comes to our culture, it's a grey area, it's a taboo. Yeah. But you know what? When you go to the mosque, they teach you how to protect yourself. Don't do this, don't do that, and what's in it. Okay, we're human, people make mistakes, people say that's fine, that's understandable. But for a marriage, there's so many reasons to break down. And the reason I wanted to mention this is because in the younger generation, you know, it's like people are constantly watching it and they're abusing their mind. But that example is also not really. When it comes to social media, they look at these relationships, and if you go through the comment section, I mentioned a couple of episodes ago with like Man Like Fuzz, they see these trophy relationships and they want that, which is fine to have, but don't have that greed inside you, like why have they got it, why haven't I got it? Then they question their husband, oh look, that guy's always taking his wife out all the time, why you not taking me out? Then arguments start like that, and relationship break down. Compromise is important. Communication is one of the biggest things why relationships don't work. And I've seen it yourself when you're working with your wife, mashallah, you've got such a bad boy, not forget anything else, he's got such good banter with his wife. You couldn't even tell, it's like the best friends. And that's the whole point.
Alhamdulillah, brother, you know, finding a soulmate.
Yeah.
You're a very lucky person if you find your soulmate.
No,
you know, one that's going to be with you to the end.
A woman can either make you or break you.
That's it. You know, when you've got your woman there, you need to adapt with each other, and you need to make sure your thought, she already knows what you're thinking, and you need to know what she's thinking. And when you get to that stage, bro, that's when you're a tight bond.
Yes.
You know, you're going to raise your kids right, you're going to have good morals in them, you're going to teach them the basic good ethics. If you survive that marriage process, then more likely your kids are going to also survive that marriage process. But if you're going to be that first one that breaks that chain and ends up unfortunately having a divorce or unfortunately splitting up with a partner, then it's very, very likely that your kids are going to feel the same.
I want to play devil's advocate to that. Reason being is this: my parents are okay, and I think because I've seen the flip side as to how that can turn those parents and how it can be in that situation, I've not wanted that for my kids.
Well, that's
I've
a very good valid point as well,
for
you know what I mean?
my wife, and because I've seen that now, it's just I would do everything in my body to make sure I wouldn't get that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's a very good point, and that's very true as well. You know, I'm probably basing that a lot off from where I live, where is a Caucasian area, where I see. You know, I mean, I've been there for like 20 years now, and I see that relationships, to be fair, unfortunately, literally, one minute they're very happily in love and everything, and oh, I love this guy, and we've been together 23 weeks now, and you know, things like that. And then the 24th week, oh, I hate him, he's done this to me, he's done that. And then the kids are looking at all these things as well, you know what I mean? And it's becoming a trend between, you know, it's like following suit. They're having young kids, like, they're based in relationships up to like, they think they've achieved a massive milestone by getting 23 weeks. You know, or they're making it public news, like, you know, they're making public social media posting. Well, we've been together 23 weeks now. You know, what is that like? You know what I mean?
I think you should get your blue Peter badge when you're in your deathbed. You know, till death do us part.
That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's how it should be. And like I say, it's very good if you can achieve that. You know, you've achieved something really big there in your life. If you can actually go all that way with that same person, with a very trusting relationship, and just beat the odds and finally get to that final stage, you've achieved something in your life. I mean, you know, you've probably completed a major part of your deen there. I mean,
so was your marriage your own choice, arranged marriage?
It was an arranged marriage. Yeah, as it was in the 19-year-old there, you Munda harab ho gaya getting married. You know, like they do.
Ship him off.
Yeah.
Right, TK. So, you know, this is not going off topic because we've had a bit of serious discussion, haven't we? When it comes to marriage and stuff. I think we should kind of cool it down a bit now. with your brand, like you were mentioning earlier, that you've had a lot of ice cream men come up to you, and there's a brother sat behind us as well, behind the camera, who I've seen with yourself how much love you've shown him, how much you've helped him, guided him. You're like his sensei in a way, you know, like when you got the Karate Kid and that. The next
Splinter.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi.
So, in terms of your business, we understand the process where you started off, where you are currently, and where you wish, inshallah, you know, where you want to be, your goals and targets. But in terms of your overall branding, you know, I know that you've got a certain amount of vans within the family. But at any point, would you ever consider franchising out your brand and the vans?
It's funny you should say that. I've just taken on my very first franchise.
Okay.
So we've just signed the contract.
Mashallah.
Mashallah, alhamdulillah. Some Indian brothers from Preston. They're actually having a Mr. T's actual dessert parlour within their new restaurant, what they're opening. So they're having a section cordoned off, probably about as big as this room.
Yeah.
That's going to be a Mr. T's dessert parlour. Officially, my picture on it.
Wow.
It's that everything. So they're going to have our recipes, our method of operation, our products, our ice cream, with a lot of input from me. So that's the first franchise that I've actually sold.
Wow.
Because I had to do it. I mean, I've had many people say, "Oh, I want a franchise model, this, that." They've offered me some stupid amounts of money as well. But me, I've just not felt comfortable with the person that's asking for it. I had to feel comfortable because I've not actually done it yet. So this person, I felt very comfortable with. He's an established food business owner. He's actually a wholesaler as well. So he's got a very good business ethic. And we had a few good, long, lengthy meetings before we came to terms. We finalised a contract that to redrafted 3-4 times till I was happy with what the contract entailed. And now, mashallah, we're at a stage where I've agreed to it, signed it, sent it back, said, yeah, let's do it. So inshallah, April, May time in Preston, there's going to be a new eatery open, and they're going to have an official Mr. T's franchise in there that they've bought from myself. The trading name, and obviously in that contract as well, there's also my input in their place. I'm going to be there once a month for a period of a full year. That's contracted, and obviously after that year, you know, inshallah, I'm going to still make an effect, and you know, I'll have as much input in it as I can. I'm going to go live there, and I'm going to do my thing. I'm very, very popular in Preston. I don't know if you've ever seen me up there or not. It's a very big city. And there's a massive Asian population, and there's a lot of Indians, and there's a lot of Pakistanis. And the benefit for me is I'm fluent in both languages, so I can speak Gujarati fluently. I don't know if you see.
Can you drop us a couple of lines?
I think we should get Mr. T to teach me some
Gujarati. All I know is
Gujarati not here.
Haruche.
You have to speak. He can't speak slower than that.
No, I can speak.
No, but he's not just speaking, he's got the accent with it.
Yeah. So when I speak Gujarati, they actually think I'm Guji.
Yeah,
they actually think that this guy is Guji.
Well, you Saruchi or Baruchi?
And then I ask, most of the people over here, they're from Surat. And there's a few of them that are from Baruch. So I always make sure I ask them, Tamil Kaino se? Surat na che ya Baruch na? Yeah, I ask them and then, Tamil apna dushman che?
You know, if you got beef, it's
so the thing is that benefits me greatly because I get, you know, like, I don't just get our people coming, I get other people coming. I mean, and I get English people coming because I can relate to them so well and I blend with them. The buzz off it. And some of them, they be shocked when I say to them, I'm Pakistani. Gujarati badi havi hai. You know, they get shocked.
You're not going to learn this, bro. He's speaking that fast. My brain's going... It's like the Matrix.
So, I mean, they're really... And especially in Preston. That's why it's going to... Inshallah is going to work well for us because there's a lot of Gujis there. And there's a lot of Pakistanis there. But me, I'm a bit of both, like, so...
Remix. 50-50.
Remix.
Yeah, Hovis.
Come on, direct. With full of bags.
50-50 Hovis, best of both worlds.
That's it.
I even seen that there was a Caucasian guy who came to one of your ice creams, and it's a big video of yours. And he's speaking Apple's, man. I'm just sat there like, yo, I need to learn this.
Something just popped in my mind. I was actually, when you seen me on my phone, I was trying to find it, but I can't. So obviously, with great success comes great responsibility.
Of course.
With great success and great popularity comes a lot of negativity as well, which you've seen. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it.
Of course.
But I'm not on about customers, and I'm not on about the online social media. I seen a video once you put up of some like elderly. I don't know if he was Italian or Caucasian or what. I know the ice cream. You know what I'm on about?
That was Mr. Lewis.
Right. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Lewis, it's not nice that one.
So basically, he's got beef. He hasn't himself, but some other ice cream guys beefing with him, literally.
So this happened. This was when I first started doing ice cream. So when I first started, like I said to you, I was doing the chimes for about a month. And in Wrexham, there's not very many ice cream ones. Anyway, there's only like 5 ice cream ones in a population of 75,000.
Yeah.
There's enough work for everyone, bro. You know, what are you being so territorial for? But this one guy, yeah, I mean, all due respect to him, I've never had any beef with him again. And, you know, I'll shake his hand if he was there because I'm not one to hold a grudge or anything. But the guy, yeah, I mean, I was doing home delivery service. My thing was going to a person's door up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. You cannot stop that person doing what he's doing. If that customer wants me and they've messaged me, how's another independent ice cream man going to have an issue with me going serving that one customer? How can you have an issue with that? You can't. That customer has messaged me, they want me to come, they want my product at their door, and I've come to them on a pre-arranged, pre-booked service. Anyway, this guy here, he's one of the fellow ice cream men in Wrexham. And I've seen him about 10, 12 times in various different locations. And he would talk to me in that manner every single time. Now, I'm very, very cool-minded. I don't lose my temper. It takes a lot for me to actually, you know...
Snap,
yeah? And the guy used to speak like that to me every time he sees me. My dad's never spoke to me like that every time he sees me. And my dad has never given me vibes like that guy gave to me. And I thought, right, I'm not having this. And I've obviously been good with the camera, and I've always... So I was going that way. I'd come out the delivery, and he was going up to that street where he'd do the chime and that. And I've gone off, and I've gone to... And then when I've travelled down the road, I thought, right, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to let him do this again. So I've actually done a U-turn, and I've come back, and I know he's going to come down this way afterwards, so I've parked up there, and I'm pretending I'm on my phone. But really, I'm not on my phone, it's recording. So as soon as he's come down, and he probably thought, what's he doing parked up there? But he's IQ level tabinators. And he's come down that way, and he's opened the window, and he's starting doing what he's doing. And I caught it on camera.
Yeah.
You know, he's called me a black boy, this, that, and the other. And I'm not, you know... And I actually regretted doing what I did by posting online, because that's not my style, you know. That's not something I would like to do. I would not like to out someone.
Yeah.
That's just not me, you know what I mean? That's the first...
If it's calling you stuff
I know,
like
but
that.
still, even then, a better person is one who just stays quiet. You know, a better person is one that just prays for it about itself in another way. Somebody, because then outing someone is frowned upon in our religion, in our culture, and it's just something that I go against. It's not my thing. I'm really, really against that, you know what I mean? But anyway, that was the first time that I've actually outed someone. Yeah. I've had many incidents where I could out many people, but I won't. But that one I actually did.
Did their behaviour change after that or no?
Yeah, behaviour changed. Obviously, the police got involved in everything, you know what I mean? That went on Lad Bible, they went on Unilad, they went on Street FX Graphics. Why are they posting it like, you know what I mean? Multiple graphics, it went in America, it went in Australia, it went everywhere. That video was just, it was like a sitcom.
Violent,
It was like a actual sitcom video. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. You were just trying to find it then, weren't you?
I deleted it.
He's got too many videos in there, I'm trying to find it.
I've got it, if I put it in hidden.
Archive.
It was in hidden.
The face mask, what's his face ID? You to access them folders in it, you need your face ID.
So
you're gonna enjoy his
But at the same time, someone like me, like look at the Grubfellas incident.
Yeah, but that is with that, we went down, we gave an honest opinion, and to be honest, most of the backlash, it was because of them, it wasn't because of us.
Yeah, true.
You did what you did. I actually want to speak about that.
Why?
Because I always get stick, and that day I went in the video and I was looking at it.
Let's watch this
Mr. Lewis is always swearing at me for some reason. You guys
fuck off my round, I'm warning you. Why? This is my fucking round. If you want to do it after me. Do it before me, and your van will get tipped, and I'll get fucking warning you. What's the matter with you? It's in chance blackboard, alright? Oh, Mr. Lewis? Yeah. It's not nice, that. No, call me a fat bastard, alright? Who's calling you a fat bastard? You should be that. Oh, gee, that's fucking chance. Alright, what are you going to do, Mr. Lewis? Come on. What, like what? Oh, remember when you lived south, yeah, that doesn't matter, that doesn't mean nothing, bro.
Wow. Can I just say one thing? You kept your cool, and it's back to what you said. His IQ levels minus 10.
Yeah, but the guy just used to be talking like that to me every time, and I had like 10 incidents in various different parts of Wrexham, and I thought, I'm not having this. You know, if my dad never spoke to me like that, don't want to. I can do what I like. I'm not doing what you're doing. I'm doing a totally different thing. So that he brought it on himself, unfortunately.
100%.
Yeah, you can't speak to someone with such disregard, especially when you don't know him. He's not related to me. He's not nothing to me. And you're speaking like that to me. Who are you? So anyway, that's what I did.
No, but you didn't say anything wrong to him, and I don't think you outed him.
To be honest, I think I did out him because he got a lot of backlash for it. It was in every paper. It was in the newspaper. The headline for about 3 days because they were just following this story now.
Well, was that your fault or was that?
It was his own fault. He brought it on himself. His consequences of his own actions.
There you go.
And the headline was, you're going to laugh at this, Mr. Lippy. Not Mr. Whippy. Mr. Lippy. That killed me off that. I actually got it at home somewhere. But, you know, unfortunately, it is what it is. He brought it on himself, and I had to do what I do because I'm not going to say that. No man can give that kind of gibberish to no one. And that's what happened there.
You know, like, you were on about group fellas. And the reason I don't want to mention is because that day, you know, like, sometimes you post something a year ago, 2 years ago, someone will end up liking it, commenting on it. So someone commented on that video, the review that I did, and I was going through the comments, and then a lot of people were like, oh bro, this is something like there's a hidden agenda behind it. And we know there isn't. No, you know there isn't.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know, the way we both orchestrated what our experience was. Obviously, you were being you, I was being me. Both were real and raw, but I think you were a bit too raw. Because, listen, let me explain. When you stuck your finger up, that's fine, I understand that, that's your personality. But obviously, when someone made a statement or they asked a question in your comment section that, oh, you've got something against them, genuinely, keep it real. Irrelevant of what came out afterwards when people were messaging, and I didn't even know they do food reviews or used to do food reviews. I only met them once in Camden Market by chance, and I didn't even remember that incident until when you were sat with me and the guy goes, oh bro, do you remember we met you in Camden Market? And I've got, like, same thing, you know, Mr. T was saying, I've got everything saved in my phone. I went all the way back afterwards and I seen it and I recognized that lad, he's in the video.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
So for me personally, I never had a hidden agenda with them. I'm not saying you have, but remember someone made that comment and then you said, yeah, I've got something against them. Every platform that I uploaded that video and people like, you've got a hidden agenda. I go, I haven't. They go, well, your boy said it. Well, I go, ask that guy. I didn't say it. Do you understand? So like what he said is that he doesn't like to out people. We didn't really out him. What we did was that we went there, we had the food. Personally, we didn't enjoy it. Like now, I'd go back, and if they've improved their food, I'm gonna say as is. If it's nice, it's nice. If it isn't, it isn't. But I won't post the video then because there's no point. We've done it once. We posted the video. We didn't enjoy it. But genuinely, now I want to ask you this: that comment when it was made, did you actually have agenda or something against them, or were you just replying and playing into, you know, like when someone's being a prick, and then you just play with them into that story and just get them in your hand and feed?
So I can't remember whether, I'll tell you why it was personal for me.
Yeah.
You know why it was personal for me.
Oh no, that was afterwards. I'm on about when someone made the comment about you've got an agenda against them. Afterwards,
I haven't got an agenda against them.
So why did they reply and say, yeah?
No, how many people were commenting?
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
This is the thing, you know, when you make stuff like that, you have to understand, look, it's not about, look, I've got bad love for you. I know you've got love for me, and we do a lot together, we support each other. The thing is, when that comment was made, people are coming, I'm seeing that backlash, but I'm like, look, I'm not disrespecting this guy, I've got bad love for him. What he's saying, I've said the same thing. The only difference is the way it's been orchestrated. I've said it a certain way, he said it a certain way. There's no difference.
Are you aware of what happened?
Yeah, it was a bit of a bad one. Like, when everybody I was getting told, people were saying to me, and they were saying, like, you know, why would you do that? And I didn't obviously have any knowledge of what was happening. Yeah, it was me made aware of it. It was like a very common talking point between people at the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's happened there? Have you seen what's going on there? It was one of them. Like, a lot of people were quite shocked, shall we say, by what was going on at that time. And some people were saying, "Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that." And, you know, like,
look, I know nobody was going to do anything. The fact of the matter was, I was upset because someone said something about my wife, and I don't know for definite if it was from their side, but the way that the comments were going and the way it was happening.
You know, me personally, my personal view of this, and this is obviously your food critics, you probably can't have this person, my opinion. My personal opinion in life is, I mean, I go out many times and I do this and I do that, and I'll make videos for people. I mean, I'm not a full-time reviewer though. When I do something, if I like it, I'll make a video and I'll post it. If I don't like it, I won't make a video and I won't post it. That's the kind of person. That's my mentality. You know, if you like something, tell people. If you don't like something, keep your gosh shut. That's me. But obviously, being a food critic, you can't do that. People want to see your honest, real opinion.
Authenticity.
You know, if you're going to say everything is good, they're going to think, like, what kind of a food critic is this? So I'm lucky in that aspect that I'm not actually in that same category as yourself. But when I can keep my opinion to myself and I don't have to broadcast it. Now, it has happened a few times. Like, I've been here, there, and everywhere. And I've thought, right, that's disgusting. And when that happens, you just keep it to yourself. You know, that's my way of looking, way of doing things. And if I've not got nothing nice to say, I won't say nothing. Even on a social media post.
Unfortunately, with
you as you are, it's the total opposite.
It's not just about being.
And I think your following, I think they deserve to know the truth through you as well.
It's not just
because they value your opinion. That's why they're following you.
Definitely, it's not just about.
With me, they value my ice cream. That's why they're following me.
No,
you know, I'm just saying. You know, it's like
they love you as well.
Yeah, they do. But it's like a lot of it's to do with my product and things like that. With you, the reason for a lot of them to be following you is to know where they should go or where they shouldn't go. You know, so obviously you have to be real, don't you?
The thing is, I've always said it from the start that wherever I go, it's based on my opinions. Like, why am I genuinely going to go out of my way to look for bad food? Why am I going to go out of my way to tarnish your opinions? You know, when I had 10,000 followers, what I'm doing now, it was nothing like then. I was really raw, like really raw. And it's not that I've ever disrespected food. You can't, because it's risk. There's people out there who don't have access to clean water, never mind anything else. The thing is, as my platform's grown, I've understood the
important,
the responsibility, but the power that comes with it.
Exactly that.
When that video happened and it's out there, people can see it black and white.
Oh, it's not going to go once it's out there. It's out there.
No disrespect to you, but just using that as an example, the way he orchestrated his video and the way I did, two different things. The only thing I would say, it's not even crossing the line, man. It's just a general statement. Loads of people have made it. I go that the burger was drier than Gandhi's flip-flops. No, I keep it.
I've heard that a couple of times since.
So the thing is, it's like, look, now when I go out, if I don't like something, I will genuinely just say it's not to my liking. Keep it sweet, short and simple. But the thing is that people be like, oh... No.
I mean, even I've seen with yourself, Mujahid, even when you've portrayed my ice cream, you've said, it's not for everybody's liking, but I personally like it. Now, that's a very well said thing. That's a very well said thing, you know what I mean? Because there is people out there that don't like it. And possibly they've got ulterior reasons for not liking it, or they genuinely just don't like whippy ice cream, because everybody's different, isn't it?
I think,
everybody's entitled to
yourself. Obviously, look, you're selling a product at a decent price. I don't think it's expensive.
I know.
Have you tried that? I've never received.
I've had it at.
I can't even remember saying you, bro.
No, you've had it at Wing Heist and.
Shout out to Legends.
What?
Big shout out to my boy Legends.
Yeah, so I remember
big shout out to
there, and I went down and actually did them guys a video as well, because I told them to do me like a little Sunday. It's amazing, I love it.
Yeah, but when you have it from me myself direct, obviously when they do it with a milkshake, it's had milk added to it. It's whipped up and it's different to when I'm going to, you know, inshallah, when I see you next, are you from Bradford yourself?
Yeah.
Inshallah, I'm going to see you next time. Make sure
you were here yesterday as well.
The day before.
And we drove past and I was like, so I pop in and I'm trying to be healthy. I know I've been snacking.
Bro, you know what? My ice cream, everybody needs to try it at least once. From me.
It's not for your bucket list.
Yeah.
You know the thing you mentioned about people, whatever reason, it's not that. It's like, look, like I was mentioning before, your price point I think is decent. A lot of people find it expensive, but unfortunately they're so used to the standard 99p, but you can't even get it's like £2 now.
Bro, a normal cone is £2. When you go to the beach, a cone is £4. I sell my product at £6. It's more than enough for 2 people. Yeah, it's fully loaded. There's no shortage of toppings. Obviously, I got to incorporate in that £6 product. I got to look at gas, electric, insurance, fuel, wage, business rates. I got to look at product supplies. I got to look at ingredient costs. There's a lot of hidden factors what people don't see in a product. Like I had a person messaging me just yesterday. I put that picture, I put a video of a product that I used to do in 2018, which was the ice cream pizza. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I used to do that. And I was charging people at that time £8 for it. So it was like a 9-inch pizza with a flavoured ice cream on top of it. Did you see that?
No.
I'm sure it's only in a couple of last videos. And I had a comment on there saying, Uncle T, I love what you do, but how can you justify charging £8 for that? And I commented, but I'll show you the actual post so you can read the comment yourself. So this is the post. For me, I'm very creative. So this is another.
But you telling me now that this was 2018, I thought you were releasing this tomorrow, and I was still like, whoa.
Yeah, it looks really nice, but that's like.
It's for a family, innit, bro? If one person went AWOL on that, he would have probably. He'd have to have tomorrow off work.
Which one's going to have that to himself?
Nah, you got me down, but I'd probably be full of energy, bro. I'd be munching to put on thing on the road.
It's like a cheesecake, but with soft serve in there.
Yeah. So look at this comment. So this comment is one to see. Let's switch the music off. Right. This comment, that guy there. Read that comment. Look at my answers too.
It's not. You could have just come around that way. It'll fine. Just, if you need to go, just go through there. Don't worry about it.
Right. In relation to this, you know, like
I'm going to quickly pop to the loo as well.
Yeah. So in relation to this, you know, I've seen many places. Forget Nusra and the arm and leg where you have to sell your kidney and stuff to buy his products. It's the truth. But look, bro, when Smash Burgers came on the scene, most places ask, that's the norm price now, between £8 and £10 for a Smash Burger, £10 for a meal.
Bro, you paying, it's that Angus beef, it's not cheap.
It's not just that people don't understand. It's like, look, one guy goes, I seen a post like, oh, £10 too much for a burger when it's costing you, you know, it's so much less. But they don't understand is that, oh, I could have made it home cheaper. But they don't understand is that the same way a business has overheads, when you're at home, if you're living with your parents for argument's sake and you're not putting no input towards the bills, every time you crack that kettle on to have a cup of tea, it's costing money. Every time you whack the oven on to make a pizza, or if you're going to make some Maggi noodles like a lot of people like, that's costing money. But they don't see that because their mum or dads are paying for it. But when you grow up and you get married and you fly from the nest and then you start paying bills, then you start like, you get me? Because when I was younger, when I was working, obviously when I got my first job, I remember one of my first wages I gave it to my mum and it made me happy that, look, you know. But then I started paying the internet bill, and back then I had really, when I was living with mum, we had really good internet there, and it was like £40 a month back then. And you're talking like 2008-9
when it first hit us.
So I'm paying £40 a month, and then whenever, like, you know, it's not that it's an argument, but you know, whenever my mum would say something, I'd be like, yeah, but I'm paying the internet bill. So, and they're like, Putter, you don't understand. Internet bill is one thing of many things, but inshallah, when that day comes, when you get money,
you might reply to that.
You look. If you have something that, look, you could even charge £100 for it. It's not about it being jais or not. The thing is, if you're selling it, it's your thing, it's your product. If people are comfortable enough to come out and pay, like, look now, off topic, the guy, it's not his product, but he's built. You have to understand this now. You know, people think he's selling the can for £100. He's not. He's making videos showing it, getting his family and friends and creating that drama. He's marketing genius, bro. You got to give it to me, irrelevant of what else he's doing, if you agree with it or not. When you go into a shop, he's not selling it for £100 a can, but he's built that hype up around it. You get it? But people will still, if he sells it for £50, people are like, hey, it's £100 on TikTok. If it's 50 quid half price, yeah, it's a bargain still. People can't get it. But like with yourself, even me, like I was saying, people don't understand what's going on. And going back to my original point, when my mum said that to me, when I got married, I'm paying this bill, I'm paying that bill. Alhamdulillah, working, roof over my head, food on the table. But I'm looking at the bills coming in, like the water bill, once they come in with like 400 and some pound. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? So I've rang them up. I'm thinking there must be a mistake or something.
There's a big leak somewhere.
Yeah, I'll give them the meter readings and everything, yeah, and they go, look, everything's spot on. So I go, look, can you break it down for me? So it's like roughly, I don't know now if it's increased or not, but when you flush the toilet, it's like 20p each time.
Yeah.
And in my house, they do it for fun. They think it's like pinball, ding, 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 ding. I tell you, trust me, they be like bang, bang, bang. They do it 2 or 3 times, and especially when I go, after I've done like a food review or somewhere, it's just the relay, like baseline dropping front bars. He's probably just gonna do that as well.
That was like Niagara Falls.
How many times have you flushed the toilet?
Just once, right? I didn't go for enough.
That cost you 20p then, by the way. So I'm thinking in my head, how many times have my family flushed the toilet for it to get to £400? I'm there trying to calculate it, yeah, but it can't just be that. So it's like when you're at home, that going back to your point about the person saying £8, for what you've done there, your time, you have to understand it's your experience, your creativity. They're paying for a lot of things. It's like now if your boiler at home breaks down, you call a Corgi registered engineer to come out and check it, they're going to charge you minimum £30 to £50 depending on where you are. How much is it?
Remember what happened to us?
They get shafted.
So in the salon,
but your business is different, innit?
Hot water's filled, so we're thinking what's going on here. So he's like, ring someone, we need someone ASAP, because obviously we're opening tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm ringing everybody, got somebody. He's like, okay, cool, but it's £150 call out charge. Yeah. We're like, we're gonna have to pay it. I swear to you, he was there. What did he do, Danny?
Someone had turned the gas
off.
One switch, turn it off.
But did you know that?
Back on, here you go, 160 quid.
Did you know that though? Did you know what?
No, but that was his experience.
But now you know, but you had to pay £160 to learn that. Yeah. Unfortunately, the reality is like, look, when I go out, people say, oh bro, you've got paid. Money doesn't change my taste buds, because you know the platform that I've created, it's taken me 3 years. Even though I've been doing social media for 15 years, it's taken me 3 years. Now, 1 second.
No, I'm saying you do.
Yeah, I can hear it because it's there. No, sorry. So basically, when I go out, look, now you've got experience. Brother there's come to you, so many people have come to you and you've helped them, and you help them to grow, help them to make money and expand their business. Now when I go out, genuinely, and this is not just me saying this, anyone who's watching the podcast, you can go to any business that I've been to where it's been a positive, good review, either off my own back as a review or paid promotion, yeah? You go ask them owners when I come down. I'm not that type of person, and this is not disrespect to any other content creators, but you get a lot of people out there, either they'll go for food or money, incentive either way. If you get free food or if you get paid, it's still an incentive either way, because you're getting something for nothing. So when I go out, I don't just go there, film, get the money and go. That's not my policy. The reason being is because whoever I work with, and this is one of the reasons, look, this guy is now kindly sponsored our podcast, this episode. Because you've come down, he likes you.
Such a beautiful guy.
That's amazing. And his food is...
And you know what? I've not even met him yet. And you know what I was going to do today? Yeah, look at this video.
He sent me. Yeah. So basically, getting back to what I was saying is that, you know, when I go out to do a review, I don't just go there, eat the food and get the money. I genuinely want to build up a relationship. The reason being is, you know, when you network, unfortunately, within our own community, a lot of people, the reason why they don't grow is because they want to keep me.
Yeah.
And it's not that. If you've got an idea, that's fine. But look, you're helping so many people. And when you give, it's not about necessarily giving money. If you help someone, if you go out of your way, you share your knowledge.
Knowledge is wealth as well, isn't it? Knowledge is wealth.
You will always get back. So when I go to a business, I don't just sit there, film, get the money and bounce. I ask the owners, what's your plan? What do you want to do? What direction do you want to go in? And I've even spent up to like 3 hours. Like I went to a place in Birmingham called Alums. I was sat with a proper lovely brother.
Yeah, I've been there.
Mukim, his name is. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, bro. Sat with him for 3 hours. Now I didn't have to do that. I wasn't obliged to do that because I was so invested into the conversation and his person, like you said, you've had so many people approach you, but you haven't felt that vibe. But then these brothers have approached you and you felt that vibe.
I felt a click with them, and I felt that they're gonna treat my brand with the respect that I treat it with. You know, because the last thing you want is to open a franchise with somebody, just my mindset, open a franchise with someone just for the sake of the money, and then that person is got your sticker on, but he's selling a far less inferior product, which is paying our price for. You know, that's the last thing you want.
So you could do like HMC inspections, randomly go check them out, make sure they're not dropping the standards. But with people, unfortunately, how it is now that when you go forward with things, like look, myself, I can only speak of my own experience. You can speak of your own, you can as well, in terms of the salon, or if it comes to the food review game. When I've gone out, people usually think that, oh yeah, money's going to change his taste buds, but they don't understand that money is not about a positive. And I can show you a message where I've pasted in the businesses where I say, look, when I come down, you're paying me to access the platform, you're paying me for the exposure. I'm not coming down, and if I go to a business and I'm eating the food and it's not nice and I'm buttering it to them, is that benefit to the business owner? No. And it's not about taste buds. I've been in the game so long, I understand what I like, what I don't like. But also, like, look, when I'm in a video now, because I've grown so much, I've developed, I've learned along the way. You learn every single day. If I don't like someone, not because it's not nice, but because it's not to my liking and my taste buds, I will generally say, look, you know, if you like this, like, look, when I get a fillet burger, I like it medium size. I don't like it hanging out of the burger. And people are like, oh, bro, you're a food reviewer. How can you not like a big burger? But you have to understand, I'm here for flavors. I'm not a competitive eater. I'm not here to get big burgers and be like, this and that. I'm here to talk about the quality of the product.
And the consistency of it,
that's
it. Time after time.
And so look, I went to Adams, made a couple of videos for the brother. It was paid. I mentioned that on all my platform. Brother, like, oh, someone's commented, oh, bro, all you food reviews are saying it's the best French toast in Birmingham. I'm like, look, generally for me, that's the only one that I've had. So far, the first one that I've had is going to be the best one for me in Birmingham. You tell me a place to go, because I'm not Birmingham local. Tell me a place, I'll go, and if it's better, I'll mention it. So I've done a couple of other videos for him, and if you go look in the videos, I've mentioned on you, because on TikTok there's only so much you can say and only so much you can do.
Well, it's a very short, swift, quick video, isn't it? Anything if it goes over 20 seconds, that's it, you're going to get low traction, people are going to switch off before the end. You know how TikTok
so like my videos generally,
you have to have that 7-second, 10-second impact. Otherwise, if it's not replayed again, that video is going to have a very bad results.
My videos generally, they're a minute long. I've had some over and they've done really well, but that's because, like you say, it's not just about the people's attention span, it's that following that you grow, the family that you have. And people generally, I've had videos where they've been 3 minutes long and they've got 500,000 views, but that's because of that relationship and bond that I've grown with the audience. So general rule of thumb is, you know, especially for TikTok, and I'm gonna give the code out there in the algorithm, like what you were mentioning. I'll say for any small content creators, I'm not that big, alhamdulillah, I've got a bit of popularity, but free advice, this is no money, I don't want no money, fi sabilillah, just do dua for me and the brothers that are here, What Mr. T was saying, time is very important. So any content that you're making, make sure that when you make it and you create it, that is boom, 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 because people's attention span is so long. The app,
especially now,
You're fighting for seconds, aren't you?
But the seconds in between, you know, when you're breathing, even like when I do a food review and I'm in between your breathing, you have to take that out. So if you make any content and you feel like, you know, there's gaps in between it, cut them gaps out. And I promise you, once you merge it, you'll get them jumps. You know, like when you see a video, it goes tick, tick. That doesn't matter. As long as the video is boom, precise, straight to the point, simple and straightforward, people will actually watch that more. And the more views it gets, the more comments it gets. TikTok boost it, put it
exactly that. Page. So TikTok, how it works, how I've figured it works, I mean, no one's ever told me, but I've found that when a video is short enough, that it replays automatically. When that person watched to the end of the video and it replays, TikTok think this is a good video. TikTok algorithm picks up that this is a good video and it shows it to more people. 100%. I found that. That's what.
Because a lot of people always ask me, what's the secret? What's this? What's that? There is no secret. Genuinely, be yourself. Like I get tagged in loads of videos. This guy's copying. I'm like,
be original. Be original. Don't always try and do things that resemble what you believe in and what you are. Don't copy the next man. You know, like a lot of people, you do get a lot of people just literally ripping the next man off. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Be yourself. Be genuine. Be yourself, and it should work. Inshallah.
So we
Definitely.
start to clock it off there.
Yeah, give another 5 minutes. There's one, two other questions that I want to ask.
Do you want to go on live?
Yeah, we'll go live.
Well, live YouTube.
No, TikTok. Because what we do is when we get a guest on,
For the last 5 or so minutes, we'll go live, get the people hyped up. I think
I'll go live as well.
Yeah,
then.
go for it.
bro, do you mind just holding the phone while we go live? Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. What I'll do is,
I love the fact that TikTok picks up when the camera's there.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah, I've noticed that now as well.
I love that.
I tell you, your camera's blurry.
Fucking brilliant, that, isn't it? How good is that, like?
It just shows you where technology is going now, especially with AI and stuff like that. It's crazy.
So we've touched up on a lot of subjects. You know, we've talked about marriage, we've talked about family, business, how Mr. T, you know, yourself, you've seen the good, the bad and the ugly. One thing that I wanted to mention is that I've seen recently, I think it's your brother who's opened up a takeaway again.
That's right.
What stood out for me most was not the actual business itself. You've got a picture of your father on the signage.
Yeah.
Now that hit home for me because it's like whenever I've met you and you know you spoke about the relationship with your father, then you obviously mentioned the relationship that you've got with your father-in-law. Yeah. It's important to have these kind of relationships
of course.
because people in this day and age, like you say, we've mentioned in the previous segments about marriages breaking down.
Yeah.
And another reason is because when people get married, they believe that, you know, we just get married to that individual, but it's not the case.
No, you get married to the family, you get married, your immediate person you're married to that you don't have any physical relations with is your immediate spouse.
Yeah.
But then obviously with that spouse comes the spouse's family, the parents, the in-laws, and the brothers, the sisters, and it's just nice to be, you know, accept them all and treat them as your own. And mashallah, I've got a very good bond. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, it's amazing.
I met your father-in-law, very, very nice.
The bond is just on a different level, mashallah. My dad was a beautiful guy, mashallah, lovely guy, who's passed away. My mum, mashallah, she's beautiful, she's lovely. My father-in-law is an amazing person. He's helped me so much in my life, and it's good to have these bonds. You know, the only people that are going to really help you in life is your family. You can have friends, you can have associates, you can have so many of these other things, but the real, when it comes to the crunch, the person who's going to put food in your mouth, money in your pocket, or love on the table is your immediate family.
100%.
Yeah, that's the people you got to look for number one.
So what's one thing that you'd say your father has done or has taught you?
My father before he passed away, he's given me the gift of confidence. Mm-hmm. That's a gift, bro. Not everybody's born with confidence. Mm-hmm. It's a gift. My father blessed me with that gift, and he's blessed me with the gift of being able to adapt to any situation, no matter how bad it is. And he's blessed me with the gift of being able to not prioritize money in any kind of worldly matter. Yeah. Money's not everything, bro. When you prioritize money over many things, what good are you?
No, 100%.
You know, alright, you've got £1 million, but what good are you to society? Alright, you got it for yourself, doesn't happen. You're better off not prioritising the money, but prioritising the love, the knowledge, the warmth before the money. The money then follows.
100%.
And my father blessed me with these gifts.
That's good.
Yeah, because mashallah, he's done a lot before he died for me. You know, he's really, he's been there. He's done that. He's taught me so much life etiquette and life lessons. I learned a lot. My father-in-law, he's helped me financially many times. Yeah, many times, and he's also given me good advice, and he's also helped me with investments, things like that. You know, I can't fault these guys, man. That's too much love for them.
The reason I was asking you this because, you know, our previous guest, Usman Rahman, and I think it's moving forward, we should kind of implement, you know, the previous person into the next and move forward like that. Usman Rahman, obviously, he went through a stage in his life where for 2.5 years he was homeless. And he mentioned about having pride, being prideful, and not being able to ask for, you know, help and stuff like that. Yeah. Like obviously, you mentioned that you had periods in your life where you struggled.
Yeah, I hit rock bottom.
And your father-in-law has helped you. Yeah. You know, in that moment, it's not about pride itself, but obviously you do shukr and you're appreciative of what has happened, but in that moment when you went through them struggles, how did it feel for like your father? It's not about yourself, but generally in the Pakistani community.
It's a very heartwarming feeling knowing that you've got somebody there that you can fall back on.
But did you ever feel that like it's not about it being good or bad, but like did you ever feel like
ashamed?
Not ashamed, but like when you have in a way like a burden, because you're thinking like, look, I've married their daughter, and will they? It's not that they will, but in general, like in Pakistani community, South Asian community, people do think like that.
Of course.
It's not that yourself you thought like that, but do you ever have a time when they've helped you that you felt like that yourself?
To be honest, the love between us is that strong and it's that close that I personally not experienced that, because I know that as soon as inshallah the going gets good, I'm going to help them more than they help me.
So you give back.
I give back more than what I took.
Did you have any doubt that you would
fail?
Yeah.
To be honest, to be very, very truthful, my personality is such. I mean, I know I missed out on the takeaway. There was reasons for that. I'll explain them reasons to you. But my personality is such, and my confidence is such, that when you're at that level, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps you immensely in many, many ways. And I always knew, I never knew that it was going to be like this. Oh no, no chance. I didn't think I was going to be like this. I did not think that one day I'm going to be starting a podcast talking about this like this to two lads that that are doing as well as I am, mashallah, or if not better. But I always knew I was going to do all right for my family, my immediate family, and I knew I'd be able to help my in-laws and my parents, my brothers, whatnot. Yeah, definitely.
The biggest thing for us is that, look,
a person who's afraid of failure faces it. When you're not afraid of failure, when you think to yourself, I'm not going to fail, that's when inshallah your confidence level boosts. That's what boosts your confidence level. When you think, oh, what if I fail? That's when you start hindering yourself. You need to be strong. Whatever you do, you need to have a positive attitude. You need to go for it. Grip it by the kahunas, man. You know what I mean?
I resonate with that so much, because I'm such an optimist sometimes that someone else may see it.
Me, brother. When even the worst to worst happens, I'll still look for the positive in that. Right, just as an example, when my daughter first started driving, the ice cream ones, because my daughters and everyone drives them. My sons and my daughters, everyone's got their own one.
Smashed it.
Yeah, she's got a 13 plate Mercedes Sprinter. Nice one, beautiful. Anyway, we was going to go to Cornwall for a week. We were going to go selling in Cornwall, and I'm never ever with her. She's doing her own thing. Me and her mum are doing our own thing. She had a really bad accident. It happens. Yeah, she had a really bad accident. She drove into the back of someone, writ his car off, writ the van off. Yeah. But look at this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I was 6 cars in front. Now that has never happened ever before. But Allah's made the accident happen for her to learn to sort of driving her to not look at her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put me 6 cars in front. I was able to take control of that situation. I was able to get that guy to drive his car to the Burger King, which was just around the corner. We drove all one off the road. The police didn't come. I managed to pay that guy $3,000 cash, bought his car off him, didn't go through insurance, because if you would have gone through insurance, she would have never got insured again.
It messes everything.
It would have ruined everything for her. But alhamdulillah, there was so much positives in that negative. And this is what you got to look at.
Our people, unfortunately, South Asians don't look at
I looked at that and I thought, Ya Allah, mashallah, look at that. I'm never ever with her when she does her own thing and we do our thing. We were together for the first time ever, and you've caused her to have this hiccup whilst I'm there.
That's next level. Because if you look at it within our own community, for argument's sake, look, if you're driving, not necessarily an accident, but your tyre pops. They always say there's always good in, like you said, the negative, the bad. Because you can't always win. You can't always be top of the table. You can't always be top of the mountain. Because if you're always winning, you're not going to understand that struggle. And like, you were saying about money and being at the top of the table, or, like how we're elevating and we're growing. That's one side of it. But for me personally, alhamdulillah, as long as I've got a roof over my head, I'm able to pay my bills and I'm able to put food on the table.
Because you know what?
I'm 90% better than a lot of people out there, especially in the third world countries. So you do shukr for that, don't you?
100%.
Everything else is added on bonus.
Yeah,
like, look, I'm so fortunate, even though people don't see it, they'll be like, oh yeah, this guy goes out, he does food reviews, he does this, but they don't understand. You know, they'll be like, oh, you get VIP treatment. You know yourself, you know, by the time we filmed our show, you've seen my videos, I put a lot of dedication into
Bro, some of them, they're just like cinematic, like, you know what I mean? Some of them, they're Oscar worthy, bro. Mashallah, man. I really take a lot of inspiration from his videos, and I think to myself, how's he done that? And then I try and imitate it, you know, because the quality and the thought process and the ideas of the shots, the angles, the camera sequence, this, that, some of it is very, very good, you know what I mean? And I mention it, and I always let him know, you know, when I've been taken away with his standard of video, I have to tell him, bro. You know, a lot of people don't compliment people nowadays. You know,
I think people don't do that is because, you know, if you compliment someone, not myself, look, you see, we all show love to each other. It's irrelevant if you've got 1,000 followers or 100,000 followers, we're all equal. Because followers doesn't mean anything. For argument's sake, TikTok, before, I've been on TikTok for 5 years now. It used to be called Musically before. Then these guys bought it over, they've rebranded it, everything. And the reason it is now because they pump so much money into it. But it's not just about money. You know, look, when you look at TikTok now, why is all other communities got so much following but ours don't? The reason is because our people don't support each other. And that's the truth. It's not about hate.
The whole lot follow back, don't they?
Like, I've got so many people who like my videos, who save my videos, because you can see everything now. It tells you who even favorites your videos.
But they're not following you.
But they're not following me. I'm thinking, listen, these names keep popping up. You're saving my videos. You're most likely going to these places. But why are you not following me? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I don't. But I'm like, hey, whatever's written for me, I'm gonna get that.
We've just got to be positive role models, be good bande, and it starts with us.
Of course,
we've got to be the change. We've got to be the ones who give our positive message and be good with each other and compliment with each other. And even the way I look at it is, if I change one person's mind, my job, I can see good.
But we're human. We make mistakes. It's like, look. On my YouTube channel today, I just seen a message. I hardly check it because I'm obviously doing so many different things, and we're investing a lot into this podcast, and I'm happy because it's something that I genuinely enjoy. The guests coming on and building up relationships, networking. Like we've got now for the next 3 months. Because if we just film once a week, we've got enough guests to last us the next 3 months. And alhamdulillah, as we're growing, it's not just about people with big influence. There's a lot of people showing interest, and if you look at it, when you stay positive, when you do stuff like that, it's good because people around you, they're saying if you have 4 rich people around you, you become the 5th. If you have 4 negative people around you, you become the 5th one. If you have 4, bad people around you, you become the 5th. So someone made a comment on one of my videos. So basically, I'm gonna say as it is, and if people get offended by it, I do apologize, but I'm human. So I went to Sultan's, I had the food, and I go look in my mouth. Genuinely, it was orgasmic. Now that word can be offensive for a lot of people, but I was genuinely saying what in that moment I was like, yo, this is the best curry that I'm having right now, and there's batake going off, like when you see bonfire and you're going dishkyo. Obviously the dush the relay happen on the toilet. But so I've said that word, and the brothers replied and said, oh look, my kids watch your content, and you shouldn't be using words like this. So I replied, thank you for the feedback, I appreciate it, I'm a human, I make mistakes. His response to this, I'll check this out. If he was a genuine person, the comment that he's made, I've replied in a normal way. I haven't been aggressive. I haven't took offense to it. He's replied, LOL, but you're not a human when you're scoffing these burgers and you're doing this and you're not. And I'm thinking, bro, hold on a minute. Let's rewind. You're saying to me, your kids watch me. So you're saying to me, be a good role model. But then the reply,
have a role model
are you
yourself,
by saying that?
A lot of people are hypocrites, bro, and you just got to take it as it comes. Unfortunately, that's the way of the world. Not everybody is genuine. Some people... Some of the mentality of some people is just shocking. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and at the end of the day, as long as you keep strong yourself and you do things that you think are halal within the boundaries of our deen, within the boundaries of our relationships, within the boundaries of our culture, then obviously you're posting a positive impression, and inshallah, only good can come from that.
So who's been your biggest, like we're saying, role models, inspiration? When you're talking, I'm picking up little things, and you do that as well. So something that I can ask you as the next question.
Well, I picked up a lot of things what you say. Like, I've even started doing the wee now, bro. So, because you know what, I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Me, I don't really watch the newsfeed because of the vulgarity on it.
Yeah.
I don't look at the FYP.
People you follow.
I only just look at a few people's things. What I like looking at.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even look at the newsfeed thing as such.
Yeah, the FYP.
I don't look at that. Wasn't me Lori Bunny.
Yeah.
I just look at a few people that I genuinely got an interest in and I like what they do and that are inspirational to me because you know there is obviously no matter how clever you think you are, no matter how brainy you think you are, there's always somebody that's going to inspire you at some point in life.
To learn
something. You know, you're going to pick something above that guy and you're going to appreciate that guy. And there's a few people like that I do look up at. And I think, mashallah, you know you there.
Same with you. Like, look, whenever I've met you, genuinely, look, we're all humans. But each of us has our own limit, our own, you know, like where we can jump into the deep end. And there's only so much we can do. Like with you, whenever I see you, I don't know where this energy comes from. You're saying it's natural, it's from your family.
No, it happens as well. The energy comes from. Obviously, it wasn't like this back in the day. When I first started going, that first day in Chester, I was exhausted. I could not even stand up. And then Blake and then when we went to Queensferry, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the human body such a beautiful thing. Yeah, just as I'm going to give you an example now. When you start the gym, day one is very hard. But if you keep at it, 3 months later, that same routine that you did on day one, it becomes nothing.
Piece of cake.
It's a piece of cake. So the human body adapts to what you put it through on a daily basis, and it gets used to it and it gets accustomed to it, and that is what I think has happened to me a lot. I mean, the wording is from ancestry, but the physical side of it, the energy side of it, is literally built up through the tolerance of repetitiveness.
It's because, look, with myself, and I'm not using it as an excuse, it's because when I see you, I take inspiration from that. I'm like, look, if he's doing this and he's doing it for so long, and it's not just one, but every person that's coming, bro, is grabbing the phone, I jow, then when they're saying their name, bro, he's becoming like medicine treats, lyrical MC.
And you remember it off by heart, of about 6 people, then you're like, boom, 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 remember everything. It's mad. It's crazy.
Like
It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see.
This is a blessing. These are all blessings, brother. You know, a man should never think, right, I've achieved this and I've done this. These are blessings, bro. Allah can give them when He wants and He can take them when He wants. Izzatu man tasha, zillatu man tasha. He gives to those He wants to, and He takes from those He wants to. You know, when you think these mentalities, when you keep that in your mind and you keep it being strong, that's when, inshallah, you're going to get more. You get more then. Like, I don't know myself sometimes what I do in that van. And I've looked at it and I think, bloody hell, have you just remembered 7 names, one after the other? Like, how have you just done that?
I think it's adrenaline as well. When
I shock myself sometimes. And then I have to actually say to myself, bloody hell, did you see what I did then? And then I have to go back to the live and I have to watch it myself. You know, I have to, because my lives are uninterrupted, 7 hour long. It takes ages for me to find that bit. So I'll be in my bed till 5 in the morning, bro. No, download it. When you have to download it and then find that little bit, and then it crashes so many times because it's 7 hours long. But my lives are 7 hours long, and the biggest live I had once was that first one was really big, but it wasn't the biggest. The biggest live I had once was in Washwood Heath Road in Alum Rock. I had 275,000 people that tuned in, watched for an average like 5-10 minutes. Crazy, bro.
275,000
over the course of the 7 hours of the whole live.
Brilliant. That's a lot, man.
275,000 people tuned into that live and watched me selling ice cream.
But that shows you what you've done, the hard work that you put in. You built such a
But that live, it was a sunny day, it was Alum Rock, and I was parked on a bit of a hill, so the camera could see the customers, and they were all right in front of me, so people were just buzzing off looking at using the client. And I think that had a big factor to it, because I was on a bit of a height, and they could see they could see the customers, and that I think put it down. Well, I literally had 1,000 to 1,500 viewers online all night. You know, that was one of the best lives I had, mashallah. And I've seen about 1,500 followers from that live, and I've seen them pouring gifts because you know, just like these little pennies, they are all.
So you know, like you were mentioning role models and stuff, and you know, you mentioned your father-in-law, but putting them to one side, is there anyone else that you've ever read about, looked up on the internet, or met in person that's been an inspiration to you or a role model?
Munchbox, I'm going to tell you the truth now.
Yeah.
The absolute truth is, I haven't. You know, I haven't actually met anybody that has inspired me, because me, whatever I've done it for myself.
Yeah. You fended for yourself.
I've sussed a way out, and I've sussed a tariq out, sussed a tarkeeb out for myself. I'm not one of them that fanboys anybody.
Yeah.
I don't do that. You know, that's not me. And most celebrities, like, I've been to many concerts. Like, for instance, I was at a concert with Capital FM. I was at a concert with Capital FM, and I had every single big pop star come for ice cream, because I wasn't the customer's ice cream one. I was behind the scenes. I was the behind the scenes ice cream one. I was there.
VIP section.
I was in the VIP section for all the singers, and I got paid well for it. But every single star that came, I don't even know who it was. Guess me? And I had Little Mix, and I had all these other funny names, like, but I don't even know who they were. And then when they're going, my kids are telling me, Dad, just let Little Mix, Dad, you don't take a picture with her. I don't know. नहीं क्या पता कौन है मारे क्या आइसक्रीम खाने होता है ये मैं उसकी खिलाई है that's it don't मैं तो उसका shout out भी बनाया you know like that. I don't even know that. You know, I don't fanboy no one, and I don't aspire to be anyone, because I don't imitate anyone. I do like certain people's works, you know, and that's only now recently where I look at other people around me in my same circles and I like what they do, but I don't aspire to be anybody, and I don't fanboy anyone. Alhamdulillah. And whatever I've achieved, alhamdulillah, Allah's given me the knowledge to achieve it for myself. You know, I've not copied anyone in any way, shape or form.
No, that's really good. That's really good. Guys, we are going to lock it off here. Thank you for coming down.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed it. It's given me a good night off work. I got to meet the main man. I got to meet the man Hungry Has, who I thought was a 35-year-old. He's turned out he's just the same age as my wedding.
You made my day today, Kasmed. You know why? Because he always takes piss out of me saying, oh, this guy said, yo, this old, that old. So, bro, how does it feel today?
I feel like you need to go get a facial or something.
So, before we lock off, usually, guys, what we do is that, you know, in the middle of the podcast, we've got a segment for our sponsors, but I thought we'll mix it up a bit different today, because obviously our brother, lovely brother Faisal from Oldie Fisheries, he'll be watching this podcast when it gets released and be like, Amr bhai. So, Faisal, don't worry. I wanted to try something different, and I want to see who sees it, because a lot of people are actually, you know, from our analytics, they're watching the full podcast. The last one was 3 hours and 6 minutes long, and alhamdulillah, it's hit within a couple of days. We've only released it on Saturday. We had a bit of technical difficulty. It's hit 1,000 watched hours, and if you look at the views compared to the hours, it's crazy.
So the people are actually literally watching it all.
Guys, I don't know if you've been down or not. Oldie Fisheries are my permanent channel sponsor, but that's something that I've invited them onto. The first time I went down there, their brother messaged me like 6 months before I went down on Facebook. So it's like a little bit of a backstory of how everything fell into place. They messaged me and I'm like, yeah, cause look, if you want a promotion, call me down, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Never heard anything back from him. Then, like, fast forward 6 months, I met him outside SFC. Now, a very good friend of mine, and who I see as a brother, Choni, from Choni's Inc. and SFC. He introduced me and said, look, this guy really wants to meet you. So when I met him, and this is not me saying it, you can even ask Faisal yourself, met him, we had like a 2-hour conversation. Now, this time is important for everyone, and time is money. So I sat down with him, I said, look, X, Y, and Z, this is what I do, but you have to understand, if I come to your place, your food is not nice, you have 2 options: cover my expenses, and then I go away and we leave it like that now, or when the video, everything's fine, I post it. He goes, okay. But he was a bit nervous, you know, because obviously he's never done this, he's never even been in the trade. He was a taxi driver for 15 years.
Yeah, he told me him and his wife was started initially. And I mean, just dwelling on what you're saying there, this brother, mashallah, I've not even seen him. I've never met him yet.
Have you had his food though?
I've had his food every time I go to Keithley.
What do you think of it?
As soon as I land, the guy sends food. But I tell you now, his food is amazing. Mashallah, Allah. He's a beautiful brother. I spoke to him for an hour and a half the other night on the phone.
He loves to talk.
Yeah,
Let's say he loves to talk.
He's a beautiful guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? He spoke such sense. And today, because I'd never met him, my intention was today, I spoke to...
They closed on Mondays.
My intention was to come early. I was going to set off like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going to go to his shippy and I was going to walk in and I wanted to say, can I have a fish and chips, please? I was going to surprise him. But then Munchbox goes, listen, the brother's off today. And because you're on this podcast, he wants to sponsor this one. So there he is. So first of all, you're a lovely bloke and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Inshallah. The reason, he's come on board, we've not just built up a working relationship. Genuinely, like now, he's like one of my friends.
Yeah.
He randomly ring me, Amr Bhai, I'm in Bradford, you want to jump out? And I jump out. And I won't really do that for other people. It's not just because I'm working with him. It's because you have certain relationships. Like a lot of my friends, their timetables is 9 to 5. A lot of them have a 9 to 5 job. So by 10 o'clock, they're in bed. I'm out and about. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm editing TikTok videos. I'm editing. That's just my lifestyle now. What I've created. But it is what it is. Alhamdulillah, I can't complain. Allah's opened doors for me. That, like you said, I knew I'd do something, but not to this level.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
So with him, I went down, spoke to him, told him everything. I've gone down, I've had his fish and chips, and genuinely, you know
what? Genuinely, it is absolutely delicious.
What does it do?
It does the wee. Trust me, bro. You know what? Honest to God, mashallah, the food is mashallah. I mean, the location, even though it's on the side and it's down a side street, and it's not a prominent location.
Yeah.
But the food quality and the standard. And the packaging and the display of it and the appearance, overall, it's a solid 10 for me in every angle.
So, when I went down, we did what we did. I've had the food, gone in the car, because normally when I go down, people don't understand this, and we were kind of touching up on it earlier, and we got not sidetracked. We would start talking about something else. Sorry, I do apologize because I haven't got it on in there. I can't hear that. Does. Guys, you're gonna end up hearing that in the podcast anyway. So basically, when I went down, I had his food, and people don't realize that, by the time we film all the shots, the food ends up being cold or lukewarm at best. People are like, oh bro, you're getting the best of treatments. They don't understand 45 minutes to an hour I'm spending getting all my shots for TikTok because I want my video to be the best, because like you said, we're self-critical and I want to be the best out. It's not that I'm competing with anyone, but I want to be the best at what
But when you make a video, you always want to make the next one better. That's a standard that we set ourselves, as a creator, as a food video maker. You always want to make it that little bit better. Like even me as an example, my shoutouts when I first started doing the apparatus, they were very, very primitive. But now I can speak like a 30-second rhyme.
He's Eminem in it of the ice cream. He's dropping bars, bro. Yeah. I'm not even lying. So when I went to Uli Fisheries, the reason I'm mentioning this is because everywhere I go, 45 minutes to an hour. I love fish and chips. Because forget Friday. Apne usually have this tradition. Fridays fish and chips every day for me. So I went there. He's put it for me, and the first thing that I had was the chips. Boom. That's me. My lela literally started coming out. And the reason was because the chips were cooked to perfection, and not just like
No, not just blowing up. Yeah. Well, you can tell he's used a very good quality potato, and he's using not the cheap lard that you can tell.
It's clean. It doesn't sit. When you have food, you want to enjoy it, but you want to feel it where it hits the tip of your tongue.
Do you know something, Munchbox? My missus never finishes a full portion of fish and chips ever, anywhere.
Yeah. But
never. But I'm telling you now, from this place, she actually finished the full portion. And you know what? She looks forward to going to Keighley because she knows she's going to have fish and chips.
Wow.
That's a Desi woman with a proper Desi kind of a ledger that doesn't really like takeaways, and she prefers to have her home cooked. She'll come with her, she'll bring dal, roti and salad in a dabba for herself. I'll have a takeaway, but she'll have something from the microwave, what she's made at home, but she loves it from me.
So, like I was saying, when I got into
guys, if you've not been to Otley Fisheries, you're lucky. You're lucky, I'm telling you that.
Listen, I think you should be paying him now, You're doing a bad job than us. But, so basically, when I got into the fish and chips, I don't know if you remember, well, you will remember, but back in the days when you used to get fish and chips in newspapers, it reminded me of that. It took me back to my childhood when I used to go with my family to car boot sales and they used to make the cones. And that's what it took me back to. So I did that. Now that video, I did it when I had 70 or 80,000 followers. Alhamdulillah, I've significantly grown since then. The videos hit about 190,000 views on average. But I'm not going to mention this on camera. This is not for these people. Or I'll tell you off camera. But a couple of weeks ago, he came to me and he said something to me which blew me away. Because I'll say on the camera, I charged him £500.
Yeah.
That is not about the money. That is what my platform. I seen it as worth because I know.
At the end of the day, Munchbox, you're offering a service.
Yeah.
People trust in your brand, and the people are following you with intent. They're interested.
Yeah.
It's a very engaging platform. Yours. I've noticed myself. Your videos, they get some solid engagement.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
Views are one thing, but engagement is the important thing.
Yeah.
Now look, his video in the space of 7-8 months has got 190,000 views.
I bet that's benefited it exponentially. Like, I bet he said to you that's the best £500 I've ever spent.
No,
I said that.
I'm going to tell you both off camera. About a week ago, 10 days, he picked me up. He goes, look, are you free? I need to tell you something.
This is that day when you spoke to me all night, all the way home. I drove from Halifax or somewhere all the way home. Pure Rahman, nothing, never tell you. Beautiful one.
So I'm not going to mention it on camera because it's not anyone's business. That's between me and him and that bond that we've created. But generally, what he told me about 7 to 10 days ago, it blew me away because I understand the power of my platform.
Yeah,
I understand how strong it is. But you know, everyone who's ever contacted me, business owners, it's not that they've not been genuine, but they've just told me like, look, because the money that we paid you, we made it back within an hour. Some people say 3 hours, some people say within a day. This guy did not say anything like that. He told me his experience, where he's come from, his background, in the sense he was a taxi driver. This was the first ever time he's done a business.
Yeah.
Bro, now this is not about crunching numbers. His sale was a certain amount before I walked through the door.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, his food is nice, and I've told him the day you drop your consistency, people are not going to come back.
Yeah.
He's selling, I'll tell you off camera, because this is not I'm not his accountant broadcasting on a podcast. He's selling, before I went to it was a certain amount.
Yeah.
After I did my video, he's selling not doubled, not tripled, X by 4.
Mashallah.
By 4. So not 10%, 40%, 400%.
Yeah, mashallah.
So he said something to me that warmed my heart because, I've charged him, but it's for the exposure. And at that time,
well, at the end of the day, it's an investment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like buying a brand new microwave.
Yeah.
You know, that brand new microwave is going to work better because you paid good money for it, rather than the old one that sat there for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But the same thing goes with these videos from influencers. If it's a good engaging video that the influencer's made with love and passion and caresses it, you know, it's gonna make sure that it drives people to that place.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, like, you know what I mean? When you promote something, I mean, I get it a lot, like people say, Mr. C, can you do us a shout out? And I used to think to myself, why did they make me do it? Because I've never experienced this.
It's because you got the clout. That's what it is. That's the actual word for it. Because generally, anyone can put your video up now, your face, good or bad, in the sense like when them lads came in Huddersfield, they're acting like pricks. But their videos get views. Why? Because you're a brand. You build that up. You worked hard for it. But people, when they come, whoever it is, when it's good customers, they come because they want you to support their business by what you're doing and helping them to grow. But then when you get idiots like that, no matter what they know, we're going to put Mr. Tube. You know what? Boom, class, we'll get 50 to 100,000 views for fun. For free.
That's the only video he's got. He's got a pin there as well, like only one pin video. I guess. But you know what? This kind of people you know what? And to be honest, I've not got any qualms against that. I actually commented and I said, it's probably something that I would have done when I was a kid. You know, at the end of the day, if you're going to start taking it bitter, then it's just going to make other people want to be bitter about it. But when you take it as a man and you think it's a lesson learned, you know, it's a different way of looking.
But guys, before we lock it off now, we're going to wrap it up here. Big shout out to Oatly Fisheries, based next to Keithley. Generally, go down, check it out, and don't just take my word for it or Mr. T's. Go check it out. Fresh products, fresh ingredients, good quality fish and chips.
At the right price.
Yeah, good price point, and at some point...
Good portion size as well.
Definitely.
You know, definitely the fish is like normally the chippies around where I am, they're about that big now.
Yeah.
But this fish was like that big, bro. It's like easily 2 people can munch on that, bro. Easily, bro.
You know, he's done the new one that he's got in now. That you're saying the new one you can't finish because it was longer. Now the one he's got in now
thicker.
Is wider. Right. So if I get longer, it's got a good length to it, but the width. I was going to say the girth. I was going to say the girth. I was going to say that. I'm not even like it. I want to come on like, oh shit, calm down. What's going on here? So let's cut it off. But you know, if Only Fisheries was open, I genuinely would even go.
You know what? If Only Fisheries was open now, I wouldn't eat from anywhere else.
Yeah.
I'd only go to Only Fisheries. So if you've not tried on Only Fisheries, give your head a wobble, guys. Yeah? Sort it out. Get down there tomorrow for dinner. Get a fish and chips with a curry sauce. Mojamno, the fish and chips call.
So, no, don't put it there, your eyes. We've got technical difficulties with this. Just hold this 1 second. Anyways, guys, thank you very much to every single person who tuned in to watch the podcast every week that you guys come. Thanks to you guys, you know, we're growing, not just physically, but also on social media. Thanks to our guest, Mr. T, and his family for coming down. I do apologize, young man, that you weren't able to go watch your favourite team, but they probably would have not played it good. Are they winning or losing? Oh, shit, okay. I'll take that back then. But guys, if you have got some kind of common sense, you know, and you want to go far in life, trust me, spot Man United, they're the best team in the world. Forget Liverpool and all these other BTEC teams, you know, like, look, we are in the dirt at the moment, but we are growing and we are getting better. You can't always win. Yeah. Like, look at them, for 20 plus years they were at the top of the table, but now they're struggling. Yeah, but they're going to get back up there.
Liverpool's on top now.
No, forget Liverpool.
Accept defeat, bro.
No, I can't accept it.
Can I accept defeat?
No.
We're on top of you now. We're at the cutting edge.
No.
We've got our game in hand.
No,
you boys now, you've lost Ronaldo and you don't know where you're going.
I'll agree to anything in the world which is within is permissible within Islam. You have got to be careful about that as well, because when they say, oh, would you let this guy do this to you or this and that, but one thing I'm never going to ever accept is that, you know, Liverpool, yeah, they do play good football, but they're a shit club. I'm being straight up with you.
Chalo.
But guys, thank you to everyone who's followed. Please do subscribe, like and share, because, you know, we're on like, how much have we made so far? £25? We're smashing it.
£25
off our YouTube. So basically, where can we see Mr. T then with that?
That's 6, 12, 18, 24. That's 4.
Glad That's 2 each, boys.
Oh, it's been fantastic having you on, honestly, and
I've learned a lot myself.
I've learned a lot, and I feel like I can connect with you, and I hope that a lot of people who are watching.
Exactly. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here, and inshallah, let's hope it's some good views.
We're gonna sign it off now. Are you ready?
And,
Just 3, 2, 1. Bye after bye. It is doing the.